Fantastic. Okay, let's get the stream up and going. I'll send out some links really quick. See anybody, beforehand wants to show up and hang out, come chit chat, and just all around a good start to a stream. I've been doing a couple small streams throughout the week, trying to figure out maybe a side one schedule if anyone wants to, come by, come hang out, see, what's going on. But other than that, definitely getting this the normal weekly schedule one in the way. It was started a little late. I was trying to get something to eat, so I figured that people would understand the small discouraging bit of trying to get some food. But for now, we can get to the discussion, talk about all the manga from this week. We got a lot of big stuff setting up. We had an all-around exciting chapter for Black Clover. This is going to be the biggest battle of the series so far, and probably one of the biggest ones that we'll get overall, because it's not just like the end of a big arc. There are absolute titans like getting ready to go at it and to display what it's like when you're a big shot within their world. What's up, Sheridan Kane? What's up, JK Network? What's up, Jared Punch? How's it going? How's everyone doing this week? How's everyone getting ready for the next week? The next week is gonna have so many good chapters, so many epic battles. Like, it wasn't just Black Clover. I think everything this week had an epic chapter, good layout for the pretty much just intensive, like, combative moments that I'm super stoked for it. I can't wait to go over the next week, because we had a fantastic chapter of Black Clover. We had a fantastic chapter for Chainsaw Man. Really good chapter for Jujutsu Kaisen and My Hero Academia. I haven't gotten to Eden Zero yet, or Seven Deadly Sins. Seven Deadly Sins will probably salt me over, but I'll give it the benefit of the doubt until then. Kaiba's moveset is super cool. I've been loving playing Kaiba. What's going on? I finally have a name for him. What's your protagonist's name going to be, Jared Punch? Black Clover and My Hero Academia were awesome this week. Yeah, I'm wondering how many people caught the Joker reference with the one bad day. I don't know which. I know it's a Joker thing. I've seen it in a lot of the. I've seen it in some of the comics of him I've read and some of the animated series, but I don't know which one it first started. I just have to like throw in some random guess that I'm sure that somebody will pull up the answer and tell me. Good to see you too. Telling him you're right. How's it going? I hope Blue Exorcist gets an update chapter. Yeah, I think it was on break this month. It says usually the chapters come out. I think it's supposed to be like the 3rd or the 4th of each month. So I just figured that it was on break. I don't know. I haven't seen anything noting of it. I'm on a train, so perfect time for a stream. Oh, fantastic! The train is always like that long, dragged out process, but it's kind of relaxing in its own way. I've always enjoyed. What's up, Elric? How's it going, dude? Asta should shove the anti-magic sword down the devil's throat. I mean, he's gonna do something. He's probably gonna plunge the sword through his chest, or like cut his horns off, do something badass, behead him, give him some badass end for this arc. I'm guessing Asa is gonna have the end attack. I'm still hoping that the creature, the demon within Asa's grimoire, is going to come out and attack the devil that they're going against. Just because I want to, even though it'd be cool to see Asa, display himself to Licton and Lumiere, I really want to see an interaction between this devil and the one within Asa's grimoire, because that's the one that I'm so excited to see. Just the interaction between the battle itself is going to be awesome. I mean, the battle itself should speak. I mean, the name of the characters in this battle should speak for itself. But the interaction between the characters is what I'm really after, what I'm really excited for. The Tenka Ryu. Tenka, I know Ryu can translate and stuff like dragon. Tenka, I've heard that before, but I don't know what it is. What does it translate to? One bad day comes from the killing joke. Yeah, I figured it was something like that, because that's like the Joker's... the Killing Joke and Death in the Family are like the most famous Joker stories. Yeah, Renault, how's it going? I hope today's stream, instead of me humiliating myself for the expense of Sammy, maybe I can humiliate myself for the expense of myself. And that was pretty funny. I'm glad I could help Sammy out in any way I can. It's always nice to help people out, but at the same time, I don't know how none of it was like joking on Sammy. It was all just me making promises that I unfortunately didn't think were going to get so quickly followed up upon. But that's just how they were. I was some Jump Force myself this weekend. At least Kai doesn't troll you like Yugi in the game. Yugi has definitely some bigger openings. He has a lot of like high risk, high reward kind of like attacks, like his Dark Magician, and then you get like swords at the Revealing Light. You miss them. You have a good opening for your opponent to get in attacks. And Kaiba's his attacks. I don't think they have as many like dangerous combos. Like some of them roll well together, but it's not the same. But like his Shadow spell doesn't have that same risk and that high afterweight like Swords of Revealing Light does. But definitely fun. I love playing as Kaiba. Kaiba's been a lot of great time. Last week, Promised Neverland had only 11 pages. This week is back to 19. Well, that's good. It usually depends because sometimes they'll have like maybe not feeling too good that week. Maybe they're. I remember like what was it, Horikoshi's? During the time he was moving, that he was having lots of short chapters, but he's kind of gotten back to like 15, 16 pages. Also, really quick, just getting into the stream. Anybody who isn't, a normal person in the stream, hello, how's it going? Really appreciate, anyone new showing up. Subscribe if you haven't, and thumbs up the stream. Maybe retweet it on Twitter, or just see if anybody else wants to come talk about not just Black Clover, not just Fairy Tail, not just Eden Zero or Chainsaw Man, whatever questions you guys have that you want to ask me, because all in all, these streams they're community streams. Anybody wants to come and chat, hang out, have discussions, and just ask me any questions that they have. Next chapter for Eden Zero is called Footsteps of the War Maiden, so we might get... Yeah, it's either going to be Homura or maybe Valkyrie, like, shows up and just, like, is watching from afar. I'm guessing Homura. I really want to see Homura, because she's definitely one of my favorite characters so far. Jin, I really like Jin and Homura. Those are probably my favorite two at the current moment in time. Demon versus Demon fight out sounds fun. Well, I think it'd be a good time to see the difference also between Asta's Demon and this one, because there's obviously something mysterious about him, because, he recognized the grimoire, and, when he talked to it, he was talking to the demon, and he wasn't talking to Asta. He's like, I don't know who you are, I don't know which demon you are, but he was still referring to him knowing he was a demon, so there's like a mystery aspect involved with Asta's Demon in general, but there's also the fact that I want to see what differentiates Asta's Demon from this one. There's got to be something to bring out. Oh, okay, no, I didn't miss it. Okay, then it's just become an argument of my username. It's Renalta, isn't it? It's not Renee. Tenka means ignition, like fire, and yes, I used Google Translate. Yeah, so like ignition dragon. That's pretty cool. I've got theory the names of the kingdoms are named after cards, Clover, Spade, Kingdom, Diamond, and in the cards there are jokers, maybe criminals, like the clan, maybe they're the jokers. I don't know about that part. I just obviously there's the card theme. There could be something further down the line. There's a lot of mystery still within the other kingdoms, because we still have only been really stemmed out of the Clover Kingdom. We've only really had an aspect of from their point of view. I think a lot more of the process of theories of the other kingdoms will come soon. I'm still predicting that the Diamond Kingdom is next on the chopping block. They're going to be the next ones to really be combatives to the Clover. It's just where I see it really going after this point. And because after you get enough of within house effects, you're going to want to see more of the other kingdoms that make up the land, other threats that don't have... Instead of the past, it's the future that they're going. Because a lot of this, obviously, with the Clover is their past coming back to them. And even though it turned out it wasn't really directly on them, it has a lot to do with, how they got established. Which is, very interesting in its own ways. This week's chapter might contain in 17 pages. It was pretty good. I liked it. I liked the twice thing. I want to see exactly, like, how powerful is he going to be. I mean, who's the guy he's fighting? Oh, it was that guy who made, like, the puppets, the computer dude. I mean, they're going to screw themselves over by, like, messing too much with the villains. They should at least sent out, like, some of the heavier people. They got, like, that one chick, the bomb chick who... she should have, like, been way further back in her fight. Like, had way more of, like, ranged strategy. I think her addiction to, like, her obsessive with... her obsession with getting the interview definitely just completely fucked over. Favorite mecha series? Probably Eureka 7. I didn't like the second one, AO. That or Code Geass. Actually, I'd probably put Code Geass on there. I want to rewatch Code Geass because of the new movie coming out. What's up, Sammy? How's it going? What's up, Maverick? How are you guys today? How's everyone doing? What's your opinion on Larcade and his magic? I like it. I like the idea behind it with the kind of the roots in Buddhism. And I always liked Larcade's character. I like this more almost religious kind of villain without it being as, like, aggressive, like, dark aspects of it, but more of this, tranquility kind of vibe to it. I always thought Larcade was pretty cool.
And I was at least happy to see his parts animated well, so there was at least that plus. And we're moving up. We got the Lorcade fight, and then we're going to be going towards Urza against Irene, and then it's August, and against Gildarts and Kana, and then it's. I'm holding so much hope on that Natsu versus Zareth is going to be well animated and look good. I really hope so. I'm so nervous. I don't want to see like a bunch of stop animation and MS Paint stuff. Rax, it's surprising that Garen said that twice can topple countries with his quirk, isn't it? Well, yeah, he can. He's got a lot of. I think it's just the fact that maybe like hype up for how much he can double over. It might have just been kind of like crazed up hype because we don't know what the extent is. Like, I guess if it was like crazy numbers, because I remember like there was a girl in Medica Box, and she can pretty much do that, and her number went up to like it was like 840,000, and there was literally just like all these people at Medica to fight 1v1 or something. It was pretty wild for hate copy power, or I guess the duplication power. Hey, what's up, Maverick? What's up, Sammy? How's it going? How are you guys today? I had a good time. I read a bunch of the new chapters. I saw that Beast Children in like a preview for the chapters earlier. I just saw the name on their new series. It wasn't a one shot, so it was gonna get up translated on the service app. And I thought it was gonna be something cool, like some like primal like jungle style, but it's like rugby, and I was a tad bit disappointed. I was hoping for like some cool like were people, like the main character. I don't know, like a were tiger or something super badass like that. Or, something along those lines, but it's just rugby, and I'm like, goddamn sports mangas again. That's both, because the last one was, there was another new one last week, and it was shogi, and I'm just like, I mean, they could have at least added something to make it weird, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Is card games, but it's like crazy magic monsters card games. They could have added something to it. I'm sure people are gonna like it. I don't know how well it'll do. I don't know anything about shogi. I don't know what the popularity level of it in Japan, so I don't know how that's gonna go. But it definitely doesn't spark my interest. I'm not a fan of rugby, so I got nothing there as well. Code Yes top tier, I approve. Yeah, I love Code Yes. Code Yes and Eureka 7, Elric says. Both really good, both really fun series. Had a good time watching them. I want to rewatch them again. Card games on motorcycles. J-Man, the dual blade, understands. He knows how it's up. 5Ds is very underrated. I don't think people took into account the craziness of like the idea behind 5Ds, because it's like when you lose, their bikes pretty much stall out, and you're going hundreds of miles per hour, and then you crash, so you just pretty much fucked. Still wondering how they're now going back to timelines like Krieger Lelouch back. I'm gonna rewatch the series because I forgot a bunch of stuff. Redestro and his stupid army think they know everything. I think they're just overconfident because they have numbers. I mean, we haven't seen anybody on their team with like a really good power, because it's like they have. I don't have. Has anybody on their side even displayed like a really good quirk? I mean, like the bomb ticket was kind of good, just because mass numbers would probably be good to like as a support move. But other than that, I don't think we've seen the ice guy. It's like, okay, cool, we make ice. Well, what about it though? I mean, Todoroki can make ice, and he like as a kid could make way more. I mean, what's this guy's big deal supposed to be? Oh, hang on. Let me scroll up so I can see what exactly I missed. I don't want to get far behind. I heard that bitch Jamie Marchi got what she deserved. What's going to happen now? Well, she's going to go to court and she's going to get fucked. That's exactly what's going to happen. She's going to get publicly fucked. I noticed when Zhao Mei sent the gang to the Coliseum, she didn't use any ether gear, so just used the room. Well, maybe, well, we don't know. Is she an alien, or is she some weird transcendent being? Maybe that room is her ether gear and there's some weird relation to it. We don't know. Maybe she's somebody that was born from Mother and it gave her some form of powers. There's a lot of mystery behind Zhao Mei I'm very interested in. Yeah, Lick versus Lick plus Lemire. He's the devil doesn't mean that if Asta gets full black Asta form, he won't be at transformation. He will get very strong. Oh, of course, but I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him in that form. I don't want to see full power yet, because he just got slightly progressed of the one that he already has. I would rather see it, if he did get it, that it's the demon within his grimoire taking over. And so instead of like any accomplishments that Asta would get, which I think would, I don't really want because it's too far out of his league. I would rather it be, I'd much rather it be the demon, because anything that he does isn't like, well, how is Asta this powerful? This is this guy who clearly is is very strong himself. I'm gonna go see Brightburn later this weekend. You seen it yet? No, I was gonna go on Friday. I might go on Tuesday because I gotta go to an interview on Tuesday. I might go afterwards since I'm already gonna be out. might go watch it. I heard that it's interesting. It's gonna be, pretty dark, gory horror. I'm not expecting anything crazy because they're just getting to start like what superhero horror movies. I don't think we've had really a solid one yet, and I don't think we've really had any yet. So, but this starting it out, I think will be really interesting. I'm definitely intrigued by the premise. I know it's just kind of like evil Superman, but start somewhere. Rex, do you think that about this week's chapter, Samurai 8? I thought it was good. I'm gonna reread it because I read it really early in the morning, very loosely. I want to go back over it because I still am planning on probably doing a review for it. I just don't I don't think I got all the information grasped in my head entirely. I just kind of like casually read through it really quick. It was like really early in the morning when I read it, so I'm gonna reread it probably later tonight and then go through the chapter and review it again. Hey, what's up, Geass? How's it going, dude? Where's all the Godzilla characters? The Ice Guy's awesome. I think he's all right. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't really done anything yet. Maybe he's really gonna do something really cool. I'm just hoping he's got something unique to his ice, and he's not just like, I have ice powers, but he'll probably not display Todoroki level stuff. So it's gonna be, okay, you're fighting a shadow clone of somebody else. Rugby World Cup 2019 is being hosted by Japan. Oh, that makes sense. I mean, that's surprising that they did that. I mean, it's probably a smart idea to get people hyped. But, I don't know, is rugby popular in Japan? I mean, I get it's their turn to host, but I'm very curious. Am I crazy, or is My Hero Academia currently very slow? I mean, the last arc was for sure slow. The first 2 rounds were really good because it was with characters that, we don't see a lot. And then it was like, Todoroki, he had a power-up that was, like, nothing impressive. It was like his hair got kind of wavy. It was kind of lame. And then Bakugo ran through his team, and then Deku ran through the opponent's team. And it was just, after the first 2 rounds, it was pretty boring. But going beyond that, it was good. The current arc, rather, I'm enjoying. The current arc is being pretty paced well. That I am okay with. I mean, definitely, because we're getting all these characters now. We're getting their backstories that they've existed for a while, and we haven't seen too much of. So, like, Twice and Toga are both getting some nice fleshing out, as well as some progression of their abilities. Pretty good stuff. Yeah, what's up, Sammy? Renault, what happened to that? Teasing me yesterday. Offer me $5, and you guys are throwing money for saving me from my own degradation. That was funny. Thoughts on Your Name? I haven't seen it. I just know of it. I don't really mess with too much... I don't mess with too many, like, romantic style stuff. I mean, stuff that has romance in it, but I'm much more for action and, like, crazy, like, large world stuff. It's a lot of the series you've probably heard that I talk about a lot. I like stuff that's, like, you get a lot to know about the world or, like, the characters as they experience the story. I mean, like, what is Your Name is, like, that 2-hour something like anime, like, romance movie or something. I mean, maybe eventually, if people wanted me to really watch it. Who do you want for Jump Force Season 2 DLC? For sure. I mean, I really want I mean, out of everyone from Black Clover, I want in there. Obviously, there's, like, Noelle and Yami and stuff, but, I don't like the idea of them adding Bakugo and not, because the idea is that they added Deku and Asta at the same time. They're their rival series at the moment. Like, even their fandoms are very against, like, clashing constantly. And you had the 2 characters revealed in the same trailer. Why would you not have their rivals brought in at the same time? And you could have literally just pulled Yuno's model out of Quartet Knights, threw him in there, and then all you had to do is change his ult to have Spirit Storm, which is literally just a big, cool beam. And then give him his Awaken with his Spirit Dive, and bam, there you go. You have Yuno's, because Yuno actually has a really good playstyle within Quartet Knights, which would have been really nice to see translate over. Yukino, I'm thinking. Yukino. Oh, I'm coming. Oh, gosh. Jeez. oh, sweet. With all these sick Godzilla people showing up. Yu-Gi-Oh! Does not suck. Yu-Gi-Oh's awesome. What do you mean? Don't time out King Ghidorah. That's all the Godzilla ones, they're fine. I know that guy. He's all right with me. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Sheridan Kane. He's just being a goof. I want to hear Demon talk through Asta once to people or something. Yeah, it's not him talking to others. I really want to see his interaction with specifically the Devil Guy, because there's such potential there to get like maybe names. Like if we get a name of this devil, we get his name by introducing himself or something. Then we could look, see, is this from a mythology? Is this from, obviously the one people are looking at is because it's very like Western fantasy, and this is a very kind of like biblical style demon. Maybe it's like Lucifer. He has a trident, which the pitchfork style. The very classic one of that Satan is depicted as. You see a lot in a lot of stories, and it would just be really cool to at that point on to start like being like, okay, let me just kind of formulate theory on theory now. But not only that, like find out anything about the Asta's demon grimoire, because like that guy alone, there's so much to him that we could get, which I just want to get so bad to. My Hero Academia's been slow but very good chapters. It's not like the last arc that was really slow. I like the current arc. The current arc's moving pretty fine. Oh, Ronald, thanks. Thank you for the $5 super chat donated because I couldn't, without it going for sale yesterday, get your Natsu figure, boy. I will, thanks. I'm really stoked to get it. Let me put it up on the screen for anybody who hasn't seen it. I don't know how many of you are following me on Twitter, but this is the figure that I'm saving up for. It's gonna be a while. It's like it's pretty expensive. It's like $1,500. I'm gonna start to try to get on the waiting list for it soon. But eventually when I do get it, I'm gonna do an unboxing video, and I'll have a case for. I'll definitely have a case for the thing by then, because I want to get a big glass case for my figures, because I can't have any of them out now because my cat will knock them over and break shit. But let me pull this up. You guys will think it's really cool. It's expensive as hell, but I think it'll be worth it once I finally obtain it. Let me pull this up. Look at this beauty. Look at this beautiful thing. It even lights up underneath to make the flame, like the resin flames, just look so much better. I'm stoked. I really look forward to getting it. And all the money that I make off YouTube, whether it's from like videos or streams, is going to be going towards it. So yeah, I really appreciate it, Renault, and every dollar is appreciated. I don't take anything for granted, and I appreciate all kindness, all donations from my nice subscribers. You're all good people. Oh, those from Elric. Villains and anti-heroes somehow are unusually popular than our actual heroes. Well, that's one of the things that I am slightly disappointed with My Hero Academia. Not in like a story sense, just in the fact that I really want to see an anti-hero. And that's what I was hoping for Bakugo, is I really wanted him to become an anti-hero. Or at least a vigilante. Maybe like go hang out with the people from My Hero Academia vigilantes, which would be really cool. Oh, no, Ghidorah's from the same guy. I'm so stoked to watch that Godzilla movie. That movie's gonna be so freaking cool. For Jump Force? Yeah, I was really salty that wasn't in Jump Force. I really wanted to see him. Actually, how do I make it? I'll figure it out, because I was a little surprised that you sent the super chat, because usually you get like the little notification at the top that has the little bubble on it. I didn't get it for this. I'll figure out how to get that showing. Obviously, I'm new to being monetized. So, but obviously, anytime that anyone is nice enough to donate me some money, I want them to, know that I'm thankful to them, and to people to see that guy really whoever it is, guy or girl, whatever you may be, that person really wants Rax to have that really sick Natsu figure. That's just absolutely beautiful. Do you watch Better Call Saul? I haven't yet. I want to watch it. I really love Breaking Bad. I've watched through Breaking Bad, I think 3 times now, 2 or 3 times. And Better Call Saul, oh my god, it's season 5? I really want to watch it, but I binge watched. I binge watched Breaking Bad entirely. I watched it all for the first time it was over, like right as it ended, and they put it on Netflix. And I watched the whole series like from start to finish. It was awesome. Who do you think is more like Naruto, Deku, or Asta? I mean, they both have aspects of being similar. I think Deku is a little bit more down the line for Naruto, but it's not like he's... I don't think any of them are Naruto clones. Obviously, a lot of people always made that comparison. I don't think either of them are clones. I think that they just carry some aspects of them, but I think Deku's is a little bit more close to the belt. Just kind of like given more about how he was more like society was against him. Like Deku, or like Asta was like teased by the people at the orphanage, but like we didn't see like in like the normal daily lives. Like Naruto was treated like shit daily by everyone, right? Really. And that's what Deku got too. Deku was treated pretty poorly by a lot of people, and his was just getting a shit percentage hand. Versus Asta, who is just like a freak unfortunate. Yu-Gi-Oh does not suck. Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't suck. Ghidorah's on a timeout with a dickhead. It's alright. That guy's with all the Godzilla accounts. He's just being a goof. I like the current arc. Definitely want to know more about the professor as it is as well. I think Reed Destro either has no quirk or is awesome one. I want the big guy to show up soon and fight. He's gotta have a quirk. He's gotta have something because he's part of the whole like quirk liberation people. He's gotta have something. Plus his dad was like, it was his dad or his granddad, but he was hype. So he shouldn't have had something. Because you think that he's gonna fight Shigaraki, and then my guess is probably like Shigaraki's gonna start losing, but like have a good moment of being like countdown, and then you're just like, what do you mean? And then here comes Giganto, and he's just gonna come smashing through the building like the Hulk. The anti-magic devil versus the devil. Can't wait for the next chapter. It's gonna be lit. Yeah, there's so much about this because there's the idea of the anti-magic demon, and it's gonna be like what exactly makes him different from the other ones besides the aspect, because it's gonna be something like he was shunned by other devils because he had anti-magic, and maybe that's why he chose Asta, because Asta doesn't have magic and was kind of like mocked for it, and he maybe saw it a little bit of himself in it. I don't know. There's a lot of potential for that, because there's one of the things we don't know yet is why Asta was like chosen. I mean, obviously he's the only person that could use it, but how did the demon know about Asta? How exactly was it able to locate him? I'm expecting that once we find out more about the demon, like again, like I said, like him taking over Asta and going to combat this guy, I think will be the perfect time for a display of that aspect of his character, which I think is going to be really cool. I think it's going to be beautiful when we get that. When we get just like a moment, like something like Hollow Ichigo, but as we assume that he's going to be like a berserker, maybe he's like really nice, but and he completely just helps. He's really polite and friendly. Because I talked about it a little bit before. The devil within Asa's grimoire, he seems really nice. Like he was very straightforward. He didn't seem like as aggressive. He didn't seem like tactical, deceitful. He was like straight up and honest. He's like, let me take over your body and I'll defeat this guy for you. I mean, I just feel like a lot of the idea behind him, and I'm gonna keep following this, is that we're only assuming that he has something like a Kurama aspect to him, something like Hollow. Well, I guess Hollow Ichigo isn't really a good one to kind of pull over. Kurama makes more sense because obviously Bleach, it turned out different than we thought in a way. With Kurama, obviously Kurama didn't like Naruto at the start, but you could have that indifferent, is that maybe this demon likes Asta, and it's only we're assuming that he's a bad guy, and just because he's pretty spooky looking. We'll probably find that out. I really want to just get one interaction between the two demons this arc so bad. I really want to see that. It's gonna be awesome. And what the hell? The guys never want to hang out with me anymore. King Caesar? I don't think I've seen that kaiju. I've seen a lot of the kaiju because one of my friends is a big Godzilla fan, but I don't know who's King Caesar. Weevil equals World Devil. Grimoire equals Gebel, shortening them. Oh, Word Devil. We just call him Wordy. He's the dictionary. He's what is it? Thesaurus. He's just a big word dude. Cats are fickle but wonderful creatures. My cat is currently asleep on my couch. Luckily, she's asleep. She's not bugging me right now. If she knew I was streaming, she'd come over here and harass the shit out of me. I should send you a shot of my bookshelf in my office. Show me your bookshelf. I'd like to see it. Bookshelves are always cool. That's like one of the nerd things. You got to show off your collection. You got to let other people know. You got to flex on them and say, "Look at all my goddamn manga or comics. Look how awesome they are." I want to get another bookshelf soon because I want to go get a bookshelf probably sometime next month. I want to go get another one, and then I want to get a big glass case. I'm gonna put it in front of all my goddamn Ethernet cords, because my cat keeps messing with them, and I have a perfect spot to put it. So hopefully I can go do that this week or next week. Or yeah, wait, no, today's Sunday. Well, I guess yeah, because this is start of the week, so this week or next week. Screw the rules. I have money. That boss Kaiba is in fact a savage. Yeah, let me take this Natsu picture off. You guys want to look back at? I had to look at it because it was such a nice part, and I was playing that dude, and I loved that kind of like look up as Kaiba was bringing out Obelisk looming over Vegeta, ready for that God Hand crush. Rags getting raided by Toho Monster. It seems to be so. All the glorious kaiju. The model looks sick. Yeah, I'm really excited for it. I'm looking forward to get towards it. And again, anybody who would like to is allowed to donate any amount of money they can towards the Rax wants this really awesome figure one day fund, the charity of badass beloved figures. And now that I slowly getting money from YouTube, from ads and stuff, and any donations, no pressure, only if you want to and are able to, is going to be going to that until I'll have a wake up one day and it'll just be like, oh yeah, for some reason one of your videos like randomly spiked, has all this views, got like 1 million views, and now you have enough money. Now you can just drop it in, and then the rest goes back into saving up for whatever. Stain is basically an anti-hero. No, Stain, I don't know if I'd call him an anti-hero, because he wasn't killing bad guys. He originally was, because his story, his origin, to a degree, is first in the Vigilantes. What was his name? Stagnum or something? And it was because of him fighting Knuckle Duster that he went from trying to kill villains as he wanted to kill corrupt heroes. Which makes me wonder, I'd have to go back and reread, because then it makes me wonder why he went out against Ida, or whatever, how you pronounce his name, his brother, because he was like one of the big people that he went after, wasn't he? Macadamian fan in the chat, tell me please. Oh, the silly kaiju interactions in the chat. I mean, like, trying to, like, sort through them at the same time. Isn't a Jump Force. Why? I don't know. I don't get it. All Might's cool, but I feel like if you were gonna add, you wanted that. I think his slot or the Majin Buu slot, because the DLC in this season are stupid. Like, they don't add any new series, even though it's supposed to be for the anniversary of the magazine itself for Weekly Shonen Jump. But it's like more of stuff that's already in the game. Half the game is either Bleach, Naruto, One Piece, or Dragon Ball. I mean, they couldn't bring in Toriko, anyone from Gintama, or Beelzebub, Hitman Reborn. There's so many things. They could have brought in Suna. Like, Suna, I think, is one of the characters that people have been wanting most, at least I've seen. Hiei is dazzling that Hiei is in the game, because Hiei is still really popular. Like, even though, like, I still enjoy Yu Yu Hakusho, but I'm fully aware of, like, how popular Hiei is. Like, people still talk about Hiei. I'm going to say the N-word from the Namekian. I mean, what was it? Deku having that interaction with with Piccolo that everyone thought he was a racist because of. That was pretty hilarious. I love that part. The interactions definitely make it. Hang on one second. I'll be right back. Anyway, I've returned. Sorry about that. That was pretty hilarious, and I remember seeing like a bunch of hilarious fan art, and I couldn't tell the reactions because there were people like mad about it, but I couldn't tell who was doing it as satire and who was serious. But I know people would complain about that, like, oh man, he said this green scary looking guy looks like a villain. That's somehow bad. I mean, the Namekians aren't even real people. I mean, obviously it's a crossover fighting game, but at the same time, come on, folk. You two Rodan used to hang out back in the day. Which one is King Caesar? I know Rodan's in the movie next week, so I know a little bit about Rodan. I don't know much about a lot of Goji characters though. And Bakugo doesn't act like a hero at all, so he's basically an anti-hero. I mean, he doesn't. He's in the border to become an anti-hero. That's what I wanted him to do. I wanted him to become the anti-hero and kind of live down that like way more aggressive freelance life of being a bad guy. Instead, or not a bad guy, a vicious good guy rather, which I think would have been a really sick turn of events. I don't know. What do you guys think? Does anyone else? I don't know if anybody else has that idea, or if it was just me or what. But you know how it is. Mothra, beautiful Mothra. Austin and Deku are so different from Naruto. I don't see the comparison. I see some of the aspects to like what people go as. Personality-wise, I don't see it. I think one of the biggest ones early in the series is like when they had that little promotional event and people were talking shit about Asta, and Asta was just like, they're really giving me a rough one this time. I mean, you put Naruto in that situation, he would have been like yelling at him, like, I'll prove you guys wrong, because that's how Naruto was. I mean, Asta was like fine with it. Deku would have just been like kind of nervous, been like, what's
Oh, why are they talking shit to me? What do I do now? It's just like I think that was like that's a really good moment to like for a lot of characters because you put a lot of characters in those moments and they'll have different interactions. Like not to like first word he's gonna go punch somebody in the face versus like Shiki who wants to go be friends with them. I wish there was a character that doesn't have a quirk but uses naturally trained body like Asta and uses gadgets like Iron Man. He does in the Vigilantes spinoff. It's I think it's bi-weekly. Yeah, what's that? Yeah, bi-weekly is every week. So there's a character named Knuckle Duster, and he doesn't have a quirk. He's just a really badass buff old dude. So yeah, check that out if that's what you're hoping for. Yeah, his name's Knuckle Duster. He's awesome. He's probably one of my favorite characters in Macadamia. I wish there's a character that doesn't have a quirk. Oh, I already read that. There's irony in the villain arc since the Liberation Army is causing the villains to become stronger. Yeah, that's true. That's a good one, actually, Steampunk. I didn't think that much. I was obviously thinking, like, oh, yeah, this is going to be, like, an aspect towards, them moving up and progressing. But I didn't think, like, obviously they want to defeat them and take them out, but all they're doing is making them more powerful. That's actually a really good point. I never thought about that aspect of the arc, so... And rather how it kind of, like, plays as the irony side. I was just thinking, like, yeah, these guys are just going to be beat sticks so these guys can get more powerful and we find out more about the League of Villains. So, good call there. I like that. That was good. Like Syndrome from The Incredibles. Yeah, he's a tech dude. Well, Knuckle Duster is, like, he's, like, crude tech. Like, he made, like... And he took, like, was it, like, a... I think it was, like, a lawnmower battery or something. He took some big battery and made, like, electroshock brass knuckles or something ridiculous. What a dumbass monster design. I'm so confused because I read most of the Godzilla ones, but I skip over them occasionally, and I just see one like that. It's completely confusing. Rax, what if you didn't see Endgame, do you see the memes on Twitter? Yeah, I've seen a bunch of the memes. I'll watch it when I can rent it. It's 3 hours, like, because there's the obvious aspect of finishing out, like, all the movies that led up to it, but I'm not too invested in those, and I know pretty much how it ends. It seemed to pretty much play how I thought it was, and I'll watch it. I'll watch it when I can at home. I don't want to watch it in theaters 3 hours with people. No thanks. Godzilla, I'll take it for Godzilla because Godzilla is Godzilla, and that's gonna be awesome. Mechagodzilla, God damn it. God damn it. I keep reading those by accident out loud. Also shows him with a groomer because he despaired and then had no mana. I have some theories. I think because of the fact that he fell in, like, close to that line of depravity and then came back that's one of my theories, is he kind of has that, like, pull around moment. And maybe that's what attracted the anti-magic grimoire to him. But... I mean, we'll see probably real soon. There's a lot of layout. You know, Tabata has it planned. Like, he's demonstrated constantly throughout this arc that he's had so many things, like, prepped and ready, and he's just been laying down all this foreshadowing all this time, and we're finally getting all of it laid out, and, it's just peeled as a craziness. It's been pretty fun. It's definitely been pretty fun. And I don't think for a second that he's gonna just have it so Asta got his grimoire and he's never gonna show why or give a reason. I know there's a reason. There's gotta be. Also, again, really quick, if you haven't yet, I'd really appreciate if you'd thumbs up the stream, subscribe if you're new, and all kindness kindness donations are welcome. What's up, Joshua Light? How's it going? I saw the glimpse to your name as I was scrolling down to read some more of the comments. The Natsu figurine looks really cool. Yeah, I really can't wait to get it. I'll do an unboxing video when I get it. I'm hoping to get it by November. November is at least when I want to have it by. I might get it a little earlier, but I will do an unboxing video for it. Just because I know that you guys are going to want to see it. And I'll make a nice layout of all my other figures within the case before I get it. And that way, you guys can see my full picture. I had to fix one of mine because I had this cool Dark Magician one that my cat knocked over and, like, broke part of the staff. But luckily I managed to glue it back together and fix it, so it should be good. It's definitely really cool. It's only, like, near the back of the staff, and if you got close enough to see her goddamn little bite marks. Goddamn cat. What's up, Joshua? How's it going, dude? Oh, hang on. Missed my place. Jason Kiefer. How's it going? Jalal versus Laxus. I'm definitely on side with
with Jalal. Jalal's always seemed like way more versatile than he seemed always way more versatile than Laxus. Laxus has always been very powerful, but Jalal, like, I think one of the better times that I always just use as like a point of comparison, and obviously it's out of date now, but like take their fight against Jura. Even with Laxus, who's, you know, moving lightning speeds, Jura's still able to keep up with him, but Jura had a hard time keeping up with Meteor Jalal. And even though Laxus beat Jura, we never saw if Jura could take Deuce Senma and not Deuce Senma, just Senma, and he was like sweating bullets, like seeing it just getting ready. So that probably would have taken him out, though it probably would have destroyed that entire mountain that the Colosseum was on. Still conversation with all the Kojis. I need to look at the new bookshelves as well. Yeah, I'll probably get one in the next month, I'd say. It's cool seeing Zoro and Sanji reunite. Yeah, that'll be pretty cool, as long as Oda doesn't off-panel him. Like, he off-paneled Sanji versus Page 1. I don't know why he did that. Maybe he wanted to get closer to this fight. I mean, I don't need it to be like some long, super detailed, crazy fight. I just want to see some cool moves between Sanji and Zoro. Maybe my opinion, maybe my opinion on Zoro can finally change, and after so long, and maybe Sanji could actually get some fucking wins under his belt. Rex, do you think it's a possibility that Asta will get their complete transformations late in later arcs? Well, of course, there's going to be a lot of progression, because this one we've seen Asta is able to now stay in his black form longer, and then as well as a slightly pushed forward version. We saw both of them had a little bit of advancement. Asta got like some horns. His anti-magic like grew down to his cloak and elongated his cloak. He had a bigger horn. He had a second fang, and same thing with like similar aspects to Yuno's form. So we'll get more as we go. Like I said, like a progression of it, like, because even in like the higher tier one, Asta combined was not much to this demon, and he didn't even use any grimoire spells. So I don't think that otherwise they can be that much of a threat to him. I mean, just other than the anti-magic in general, I don't think they are. But obviously they're going to use support, because Asta got the jump on the devil, almost got him. But it wasn't just him; it was him in his form boosted by Yuno to get there, which was really cool. Thoughts on Fullmetal Alchemist, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood? I like Fullmetal Alchemist. I think it's a little bit overhyped, but I think it deserves it just because it's one of those series that people, first dip their toes into with a lot of anime in general, and it's definitely good. It's definitely good. I enjoy it. I definitely can rewatch them again. Get the nice voice of Vic Mignogna, all the cool alchemy stuff, all the really fun characters and designs. I've definitely watched. Normal. I guess it's not normal. It's so weird to say, because it's like Brotherhood is the actual Fullmetal Alchemist, but the anime is that people would otherwise. It's pretty much like anime only Fullmetal Alchemist. It's just titled Fullmetal Alchemist. One second. Anyway, yeah, definitely fun stuff. I definitely enjoy some Fullmetal. I might rewatch it soon. I want to rewatch Code Geass first, because I haven't watched it in a couple years. I want to get back to that, and then watch this new movie, which will be awesome. He went after Ida's brother to send a message. Was it? Because I was trying to... I remember him saying in Vigilantes that now he wanted to go after, like, corrupt heroes. So I'm wondering if maybe there was a part that he messed up that made Stain go after him. All Might greater than Jiraiya? Not yet. I mean, there's potential more. I mean, the thing is Jiraiya has, I think, less of an overall presence in the manga because of the fact that there's so much All Might. He's very regular in the series versus Jiraiya, who we didn't get to a large chunk in, and then we only got one real big fight out of him, but he had a great death, and that's one of the things Naruto will always have, is Jiraiya's death was fantastic. It was done really well, and All Might, I mean, maybe eventually, but All Might needs to be able to, whenever he finally dies, match that death, which will be really hard. It's going to be really difficult for him to be able to try and pull that. Oh, one of my One of my friends is he started binge reading Black Clover after me and a couple of my other friends harassed him enough, and he literally during the stream just got to the part where the devil shows up. Which is, I keep getting distracted by it because I'm seeing him post pages as he's reading it, and then just being like, what the fuck? It's pretty good stuff, Co-star King Caesar. Co-star, is there a Godzilla character named Co-star? You can see how bad the fleas get when Caesar is around. Oh, goddamn it. I keep accidentally reading the goddamn kaiju ones without realizing it. When is part 3 of your Zerif analysis coming out? I'm probably going to do it. So I meant to do it yesterday, and then I got distracted. I'm probably going to record it tonight. I just have to get some of the panels. All I have to do is get like some of the panels, and I'll probably put it out tomorrow. I meant to put it out yesterday, and I apologize for anybody that was looking forward to it. I'll put it out tomorrow, though. I'm going to do it tonight, because tomorrow is, I don't have to work tomorrow, so I can stay up tonight and record it. I meant to do it last night, and I apologize that I didn't. But I will. I kept playing more of Jump Force, and then I decided to give League of Legends another shot, and I was actually having the first two, like, I had two like super annoying games, but since then I've been having solid ones since then. So probably, hopefully, manage to stay at that game longer without getting pissed off by trolls and shit. But yeah, I'll get to my Zerif video tonight. I want to do a couple reviews. I want to get back to Kimetsu no Yaiba just because Inosuke is a goddamn mad lad. And maybe Last Sayuki. I'm a little worried about Last Sayuki because its rankings have dropped significantly. But I don't know if... I don't think the first volume is on sale yet. So that's going to depend probably how Volume 1 sells. And then that'll probably tell us whether or not the manga will continue. Because I like it. I actually really like it. I love the Nyoibos. And then in this chapter, there was a really cool way to do it, which again I'll talk about in the review. If you've read and enjoyed the Last Sayuki, or you are interested and you wanna see stuff about it, we're at a spot where even if it's like I think it's chapter 11 or 12 of the series, so even if you jumped on this next review, it won't be anything really spoiler. It'll just give you some cool stuff over it. Anyway, oh my god, I keep trying to pick right through all the fucking Godzilla ones that you're making me laugh. Last week has been the best. Black Clover and My Academia is really good. One Piece was savage. Plus, I got a girlfriend last week. My life is making a positive shift. Well, good, dude. That's great to hear, Joshua. I'm glad you're doing really well. It's always nice when real world stuff syncs up with all the nerdy manga fandoms and all the online weeb stuff, and then you have good life stuff at the same time. I'm glad to hear that, dude. Keep strong. We're going to get another week of awesome stuff. Eden Zero, I'm hoping he's going to be pretty good. I read the new Fire Force, which is really cool. I'm going to reread the series, and then I'm going to start doing reviews on it. As well as Hell's Paradise, I want to start doing reviews on if you guys haven't read it yet. I recommend it. It's really good. You can find it on the Manga Plus website, or Viz if you have a subscription service. Seeing how Angry Hulk gets, the stronger he gets, how strong do you think Bakugo would be if he could turn into Hulk? I mean, his head would probably just explode. During episode 20, while eating in the banquet, or whatever it's called, the Nobles Royals were trash-talking. He said, yeah, Asa didn't care. Like, that's one of the things that I think really differentiates him with something like Naruto, who would want to prove himself and, shove it right in those guys' faces, whereas Asa's just like, yeah, whatever, not a big deal. Not a big deal, bruh. Is Stainment MCU Captain America? You think you would consider him a real hero or a hero like All Might? Probably not. I mean, because All Might's pretty solid, like normal follow books. But obviously, Captain America went against everything and he broke the laws and stuff. He'll probably find that pretty corrupt. Let's keep going. All these nice. Oh, Zach God, what's up, dude? Scrolling down, I see your name. My character is semi-spiky hair, colored black with hints of red, but becomes full-on red when his emotions rises in his blood. You should have that ignition, have that like orange and red, so that like bright charred like cherry, like orangey red color that metal gets, and just have that sick glow. And maybe like some of that like white color in there, some blue, just give that like burning passion like shade to it. This is a suggestion. Hyper Fairy Tale chapter this week. I swear to God, if we get another goofy side chapter, I'm gonna lose my mind. Luckily we got 2 days until the next chapter, not even that, it's like a day and a half, and then we'll get back to the actual story. I hope Even if the next chapter is 99, every page is goofy fun, but the last page is something to do with the story. Toka, Dragon Eaters, Dragon God, I don't care. Just I can't take 2 week waits of chapters of just getting pure goofy stuff. Again, like I said, one panel of Toka walking in the background in the last chapter would have made me happy with it. I mean, it wasn't a bad chapter, it was funny, but I was just so salty that we waited 2 weeks for that and then 2 more weeks. That felt like something that we should have gotten in like volume 100 Years Quest volume 1. It's like a bonus chapter. God damn it. Thinking back, it's making me salty again. Let me make sure I don't lose my spot. Could you see the current Deku being asked to join Avengers like Spider-Man? Yeah, he probably would. They'd probably ask him. He's a good kid. I mean, Spider-Man, I mean, maybe, because the thing about Spider-Man is they brought Peter in specifically during the Civil War. If he was around during the time and they knew he could use him, then yeah. Obviously, they wouldn't just like pull him randomly in, because the only reason that Peter got in is because of the events of Civil War and then the severity of Infinity War, and they just said, fuck it, let's just have him on the team. Elf arc so far, or Tartarus arc? What do you enjoy more? Tartarus. I love the Black Clover arc has been fire. It's been really good, but Tartarus is one of my favorite arcs in stories. I love that it was so heavy to start with. Every one of the main characters got some really good character development. They all got some really good moments in the arc. It felt way heavier than a lot of the previous arcs, because the Grand Magic Games, a lot of the Grand Magic Games was like themed over Fairy Tail coming back from years of just being like shit on and ragged on by other guilds and just being in this bad spot, and then their rise back into position, and then obviously the stuff with Future Rogue, which is pretty cool. But Tartarus just kind of took dark, and even though they won in the end of the arc, there were so many aspects of characters just taking losses in their own aspects, taking damage to who they were, or just beat up all around in their emotional state, which I really liked. I liked a lot of the villains. I really liked the Tartarus character's design. I really liked the theme of the arc. I really liked the plot twists in it, and as well as Margear. I love Margear. Margear is just amazing. He's one of my favorite characters in this series. I really love his design. Obviously, I have a lot more investment in Fairy Tail than Black Clover, even though I really love both. I've been reading Fairy Tail way longer, way more, and I enjoyed a lot of the I think the only character in Black Clover that I don't really care for is Soul, but like I've always enjoyed a lot of the Fairy Tail characters, so that is my opinion. You think we'll get a Black Clover movie? I hope so. I hope so. There's if you've played Quartet Knights, it has a pretty good storyline. It's not canon, and oh my god, if you want to get to it, there's a manga spin-off actually, because the story was actually pretty good, and it was written by Tabata himself. And they have it's not by him in drawing, but there's a spin-off manga of it. I don't think it's translated yet. I have one of the volumes because there's a Japanese bookstore not too far. It's like a ferry ride and then like a 15-minute walk. So, I mean, if I commit to the long wait, or just Amazon or eBay, and they could use that for a movie for sure. It'd be really cool. Had some nice feels, had some badass moments. If they want to, I don't know why they haven't. Like Black Clover is, for like over a year, the fourth highest grossing anime for the studio. Like they're doing really well, and the animation is picking up like really well too. It's starting to really spread in popularity. So I'm hoping for something like a movie eventually. I felt the moment where Urza stops Natsu and Gray from killing each other was better executed than Makarov's sacrifice. I mean, both of those were good moments. I liked Makarov's sacrifice. I know that one of my friends is gonna come at me. Because he argues with me about that part too, and I thought I understood Hiromishima's logic. I didn't like that he brought Makarov back. I'm not a huge fan of that, but whatever. I did like Makarov's sacrifice. Urza stopping Natsu and Gray was cool. And I really wish I was doing reviews for that chapter, because I remember some people complaining, like, how could she stop their attacks? Like, how did she stop both of them at the same time? I mean, if you like think about it, those were just punches. They were just elemental punches. They weren't techniques. They were just them throwing blows at each other. And they had been hitting each other both the whole time. and one attack from each of the punches like scorched up Urza's arm. We saw like singed flesh, and then iced over her other arm with like cracks in it. And so like their attacks that they'd been throwing at each other their entire fight like fucked Urza up on first contact. So just, I really wish that I was reviewing at the time just to explain, because I could bet if I went and reviewed, just watched some people's reviews, there's probably a lot of complaining about like how that doesn't make sense, but no logical thought of just like the fact that she took that damage from stuff that didn't hurt the other during that entire fight really, other than like scratches. Goddamn Godzilla. Semo would have killed Jarrett. Yeah, I think so too. It definitely would have beaten him. I don't think he would have been up walking. I just saw Knuckle Duster lost his quirk. Did he lose his quirk? I thought he was always quirkless. I'll have to go back and check that, Jared Punch. I could have sworn that he never had one. I know his daughter does. The twist in the smile fruit was interesting. I thought it was fine. It was a little bit too long. I think the chapter dragged that out too much, which is the problem. My opinion right now for One Piece is there's stuff that should take place over like 5 or 6 pages, and then Oda stretches it out to be the whole chapter, which I'm not personally a fan of the idea behind. It just seems like too much of a time waster in a lot of aspects, but you know, whatever. If it makes the One Piece fans happy, then you know, good stuff for them. That's really what matters. The twist with the smell fruit was interesting. I already read that. Dark Patriot versus Austin, you know, they were crushed. Yeah, exactly. Just read the last Psyche. Are you gonna do weekly reviews on it? I've missed. I think just the last chapter from last week. I didn't review it. I was a little bit busy. I'm gonna review this chapter because I liked it, and I really want to talk about like the Nyoibos. I think are super interesting. I really like the aspects. Like I described it to one of my friends because I think he might like it because he really likes Green Lanterns. And the Nyoibos they're not obviously the same tiers as the Lantern Ring, but there's a little bit aspect of that, you know, of your imagination is really what limits it, which I think is really cool. I really like that aspect of it, but it's not like free ranged as a Lantern Ring. It's much more to like the character specific. Like that dude he pretty much has a rifle with a bayonet on it as his, so he can extend the blade out and fight with it, which I think is super badass. And so it's going to be cool to see other characters and how theirs exactly work. Let me see. Hunter back. Is it? No way. That can't be true. I don't think so. Michael, I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce your last name. Amponsa. Aponsa? How do you pronounce your last name, Michael? If you're still here. I know I'm a little bit behind in catching up with stuff. How do you pronounce your last name? I don't think Hunter's back. Manga and animator suggestions. Fire Brigade of Flames. I read that, Steampunk. I'm planning on rereading it soon so I can get back to reviews because now it has a consistent translation group. What's it? Posu scans, I think they're called. And I want to start reviewing it again because I used to before, but the translations were super inconsistent. You'd get like a chapter 1 week, and then it'd be like 3 weeks without one, and then 1 week you'd get like 4 chapters. Oh shit, I'm off tomorrow too. Well, that's good. I'll hopefully be able to make some videos to make up for my time. I can see all the Godzilla characters arguing the whole time. Other than his death, Jiraiya was a gag character. I mean, his fight, though, with Pain was awesome. And anytime he got serious... what remaining fight of the Fairy Tail anime you're looking forward to the most? Natsu versus Zeref for sure. Because if you look at Natsu versus Zeref, it wasn't like... It didn't have like a lot of big grand scheme, like big attack moments, crazy explosions, and really good choreography moments. And I am looking forward to that. I'm hoping they can be able to do that because the fight with Actologia and everyone, I just want them to extend that out, but I don't know for a fact what they're going to do with that. I don't know about any of the other fights, but I do know that that they just have to kind of play to the T without even adding anything extra. The Natsu versus Zeref fight should be pretty good. Should be pretty good. I hope so. Thanks. I read this. I want my life to keep being like this. That's good. Keep striving for victory, dude. Xiaomei is really getting into Shiki. What would that be? Combat sexual? What would that be the name? Would that be? Black Clover characters smash a lot of My Hero Academia characters. Oh yeah, Black Clover is far more powerful than My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia doesn't come close in terms of power levels. I mean, most like big shots in Black Clover can just like steam through all of macadamia at once. Pretty wild stuff. Some of their absurd moments of power. Who got a worse beatdown? Vegeta fighting Jiren or Hulk fighting Thanos? Over. I'd say Hulk, because Hulk was like emotionally traumatized from it all and like just beaten up over the fact. There's a good manga place in New York called Forbidden Planet. I think I've been there. I'm pretty sure I've been there. I know I've been to one. There was a really nice manga place I went to when I was in New York a couple years ago, and that name sounds familiar. I don't know though. Black Clover movie, Elf Arc. I don't know about that. I mean, it would probably be something like they'd either make a new one or they'd adapt the video game storyline into a movie, which would work, which would be really cool because they already have it all written out. It's clearly well received. What do you feel? How do you feel about Sting being Larkade? A lot of people didn't like it. I mean, why didn't they like it? It was cool. Nobody in the Fairy Tail Guild was involved in that. I really liked seeing. I really liked the fact that it was Mermaid Heel and Sabretooth combined and their efforts to go after him and to display, that it doesn't take a member of Fairy Tail to bring the business. Because that was one of the things that I thought was, or I could see complaints in, because most of it was done with people with Fairy Tail. Obviously, they're the big shot guild, but I would have liked to see, characters from other guilds really get a lot more spotlight, or maybe at like way more team groups, like battles. One of the only things I really wish we got more of like demonstration display of what other countries are the guilds from, because the only one I think is Lamia's Scale is in, I think it's in Bosco. I'd have to double check. I think it's in Bosco. I'm fairly certain because I remember they left the country for that one. I think they were going to Bosco. I had to actually, was it? Oh my god, I'm just looking at a map, forgetting some of the countries. Earthland. Every time I search up Ishgal, it's always never comes up, but it's Earthland, the old name, because of that map. No, yeah, I'm fairly certain it was Bosco, not 7. Thoughts on the way Urza beat Kyoka? I'm going to do a video on that. I'm planning to do a video on that. I know people complain about it. Without going too much into it, I'll say this. I didn't mind it because it didn't change anything. Urza didn't win. Kyoka still got off the whole point that Urza was trying to fight her not to do. And even if she won, all it would have done is slow down the speed up that she did. Urza had no way to prevent the timer to go down. So, again, I'm going to talk about that in a separate video because I want to eventually go over the three, I think, biggest parts in Fairy Tail that people complain about that I don't think are justly complained about. I think a lot of it is because of internet complaint trains. I remember what King of Lightning went and complained about, like, Irene killing herself, but he literally stopped reading the series 200 chapters prior and then came to it, and he was just like yelling about like the fact that this character killed herself without any context of what was going on beforehand. And it's just like there's so many aspects to it. It's like, well, think about like the fact that she was already batshit crazy, but the fact that she had to have a side that cared about Urza, otherwise it's like, how did she get to Rosemary? How did she get safely left off at a church to be raised? That aspect, because otherwise it's like if she never had that side to her, she would have just left her in a ditch somewhere, killed her. I always thought that was a silly thing to complain about. So I'll get to that eventually. I'm going to do my own, a singular video on that, Sharon and Kane, so look forward to that eventually. Minecraft coming back is not bad. Nobody is truly ready to be the guild master yet. Urza and Laxus could come close, but they do stuff that shows they aren't ready, especially Laxus when he defended Toka. I mean, Laxus he defended her, but remember afterwards when he was talking about, like, even though she can keep her own secrets, as long as if they're a danger to the guild, then they don't know whether or not they can, if they can have that. Because it's different if it's a secret that just is to them versus something that puts risks to lives of the guild, just in general. And I think Laxus will be fine once he decides to... He should have been Guildmaster. Even Makarov came back. I wish he wasn't Guildmaster. I wish it went over to Laxus. Or I don't think it would work for Guild Arts just because, he's not a guy that's known to be staying in one place. And he seemed more like he was hardly taking much damage from Gray's devil slaying magic. Yeah, that was the thing. Like, even though he was so powerful, because Devil Slaying isn't like, well, it just automatically deals X damage. It's like a boost. You know, you deal more damage. Like Marred Gear, like he could take Natsu's attacks, but he couldn't take Gray's because Gray was able to up a level enough to fight him. But we saw from obviously the Aetherius fight, Aetherius Natsu Dragoneel fight, is he could hurt him, but it wasn't to the same degree. Obviously with E&D being way above Marred Gear, you know, that gap isn't as doesn't close as heavy with what he was able to prevent and present to him. You think that they made Thor too OP in Infinity War because he nearly killed Thanos, who had all the stones? I mean, they made Thanos too weak in the movie is the thing. That was the issue, because Thanos, I mean, he literally just had super strength. He has way more powers in the comics. He's way more powerful than he was. He should have been fine, like steamrolling through a lot of those characters even without the gauntlet. Let me try and make sure I'm caught. Here we go. Spoilers for season 8 Game of Thrones. Do you think Arya should have been the one to kill Cersei because that's been up for a while? No, I think it should have been Jaime. I think it should have been Jaime. It should have been Jaime, or like a part where like it would have been cool just to see like imagine if Daenerys showed up in that room that that Cersei pretty much spent the whole season in, and like she was like, I wanted to confront you, and then they just have a back and forth. And then, like, the Mountain and a bunch of characters come in. Or maybe not the Mountain, because they wanted to have, like, the Hound versus the Mountain. Maybe that's when the Hound and the Mountain are fighting. And then you have a scene with all these guards come in and be like, if we can at least kill you, their leader, then they don't truly win. And then, like, you have Drogon fly up in that opening and just breathe fire. And then it's just Cersei, you know, incinerated. And Daenerys is standing there, and she's completely fine. I think that would have been a cooler moment. I didn't like how they killed Cersei off. I got, like, the idea behind, you know, literally her kingdom collapsing on top of her. I didn't like what they did with Jaime at all. That really annoyed me. Makarov and Gadget coming back were the only two fake deaths out of the ones that pissed me off because they're both done so well. I didn't think that Gadriel's death was going to happen because I knew about her and Gadriel's kids, and because there's the novel, and a lot of the novels are canon, but I don't know, I haven't read them because they never get official translations, so I don't know which ones really kind of play in. There's one about their kids that come time travel back, and I figured that they were going to still be used, and then, you know, you see them in Gadriel's little kind of like memory flash of what he was seeing in life. I thought that, plus the Dragon Slayer battle coming up, I didn't think that he was going to die. I thought Juvia was actually going to die because of, like, that happened with Musica from Rave Master with his girl, and she actually died. And I thought that it was just kind of followed that pathway, but it was fine. I like they had some good kind of like pull up the logic, you know, Carla and being able to see it happening with their future sight, and then Wendy healing. Makarov, if Makarov's is used for a story aspect at some point down the road, like the idea that maybe because maybe he has something special about him because he was dead and came back to life. Maybe he's used in some way that really adds a layer to that all happening. Maybe, you know, making it something worse. Like, Toko has this plan, but to do it, she needs to mess with, like, the boundaries between life and death. And Makarov is the perfect piece for that because he was dead and now he's alive again. Different than Natsu's, because Natsu's was living magic versus, like, the way that Makarov's pretty much soul was returned to his body from the afterlife. But we'll see. I'm definitely hoping that becomes something at some point. Adult Gon versus Black Asta. Asta would blitz and chop his head off. Gon stands no chance there. Sting had the advantage because he eats anything white, so he also had the dual Slayer magic to win. Yeah, he was able to counter white magic with white magic, but also shadow magic to do seemingly extra damage on Larcade. Plus he had Dragon Force, and it was a unison raid Dragon Force. The thing about Sting and Rogue is Sting and Rogue by themselves aren't that powerful. They're actually much stronger together. Like, them being around each other legitimately makes them more powerful. They have their spin-off, the Twin Dragons of Sabretooth. There's actually a part where Sting's power level, like his magical amount and energy, actually is stated and noticed to rise just because him and Rogue are within vicinity of each other. So their magic in general just really, it's almost like a just presence, like their aura is going through a unison raid in itself, which I think is really cool, adds a unique aspect to them. Oh gosh, almost did I lose my place? I did lose my place. Hold on. God damn it. Wait. I think I found... There we go. They didn't like that Sting beat Larkade because they hated both Sting since Grand Magic Games because he lost to Bloodman. Sting, so Sting was good in Tartarus, and then he's good in this Twin Dragons of Sabretooth spinoff. I thought Sting was fine in the Grand Magic Games. I didn't hate him. I don't think a lot of people understood his surrender, which again I'm going to talk about in a video eventually. But you gotta keep in mind, like, he's not a bad character. He's not bad. Like, the only thing that people really like ever have to complain about him is that the fact that he surrendered. But you had to understand like why he did it, what aspect to his character was the cause of that. You know, his whole relationship with Lecter and how his entire motivation was wanting to prove himself in front of a crowd because he promised to Lecter throughout the entirety of the arc. Whenever he did something, he was thinking about it. So I'm gonna do a video on that eventually. So look forward to that. I really want to go deep into that whole chapter and that discussion. Well, Lark had lost to 3 people. Took one of them and he would have won. Yeah, it was because of Sting and Rogue. I mean, Sting and Rogue and their combining of magics and putting that into one person was just dangerous. I'm so mad. I want to see their fucking roar. That was one of the things that I'm forever salty about Future Rogue is we never saw his roar. We never saw the White Shadow Dragon roar. And it'll probably look like their Flash Fang, but still, I want to see it. I wanted to see how crazy it was. It was such a cock tease to see it, like, charged up, and then it doesn't happen in that first moment, and then you just never see the roar happen for the rest of the arc. You just never saw it. It was assaulting. Who's your favorite Spriggan 12th member? Mine would be either Wall or Irene. Mine is Wall. I really like Wall. I really loved his design. I liked how different he was. I thought he was just really cool and interesting. I wish Mir and Urza fought in the Grand Magic Games because since they used to be rivals and were on par with each other. They should have got a fight during Tartarus rather because Urza got way ahead because they used to be on level, but because of the 2 years that Mira Jane wasn't doing anything because, you know, her magic pretty much was like in a stunted state, Urza got way ahead. And then, you know, the 3-month like hellish training point during the Grand Magic Games would have been a good time for, you know, her to catch up. But their fight then would have been more friendly versus she got kidnapped, we know, during Tartarus. I think it would have been cooler if instead, during all that, she let herself get used and she got more powerful in the process, but she ends up taking back hold near the end of it, but we just get to see her and Urza fight. Maybe not like an intense, like long drawn out fight, but just to see the two characters kind of like brawling for a little bit. And we just get to see like imagine a chapter and a half of them just throwing attacks at each other. That would have been really neat. I've always wanted that. That was one of the few things about that arc that I wished happened, but I still liked her fight with Kyoka. Sayla. I went to the next episode of Fairy Tail no matter what the haters say. What's the next episode is what Larkade fight and then the Natsu inner world flashback. That's gonna be cool. I'm actually really wanting to see some of that. We're getting close. We're getting close to it'll be right after Stu Sema drops the Acnologia body stomp. I love that scene. It's so randomly brutal for no reason. It was so awesome. Oh god, I lost my place again. Wait, no, I found it. Hang on. What if Thanos erased most of the Fairy Tail Guild, leaving main characters including Juvia and Grey? Well, I mean, they don't have a way to beat Thanos. Thanos is too powerful for them. If the anime does keep Makarov dead, it wouldn't change 100 Years Quest because he's barely in anyway, so it wouldn't be that good. I mean, I don't mind him coming back to life as long as there's something about that will be relevant. I just don't want it to be like, oh, he's just alive, and that's it. Because it's like, why bring him back alive? He's like 90, and he has heart problems, and now he can barely walk on top of that. So, what was the big scheme? What was the big plan there? There's gotta be something. I mean, we'll hopefully find out something. Name the biggest thought in Fairy Tail. Probably Angel. You just remember that part during Larkade's like pleasure magic, and Angel was just like super stoked for it, and as well as she was kind of lewd already. He had Dragon Force, the band. No, not the band. The power. I get what you're doing there. You ever think that since he killed his dad, Tyrion wasn't. You think that ever since he killed his dad, Tyrion wasn't as smart as he used to be because the people said he's been making dumb decisions, especially in season 8. Well, that's because season 7 and 8 feels rushed. 7 and 8, especially 8, feel very rushed. I don't understand why they would be rushed. They could have done it in their 5 seasons and people would have been fine with it because of how popular the series is. I don't understand what was going on that they decided, let's wrap it up now. I can't be the only one to see the similarity between Tanjiro and Nezuko with the Elric brothers from Fullmetal. Either of them trying to eat people. I mean, Nezuko. Plus, Nezuko can turn into big, tall, busty to lowly, like, with a snap of her fingers. You can carry her around and then just drop her, and then she goes full-on giant monster. Big-ass titty ones. Oh, hold on a second. Anyway. Yeah, I read that. Oh, wait. Nope. Wait, nope. Did I read this? Okay, I did. Sting and Rogue are like a Soul Eater team. Yeah, I like them. Yeah, these Soul Resonance. Is that what you're trying to go for? Sting and Rogue just get shit on because Natsu fucked them up. I mean, like, the thing that I always compared it, because legitimately, Dressrosa is like a knockoff of Alabasta in the Grand Magic Games. And I always see people trying like, oh, Sting is just a Natsu fanboy. I mean, like, the most fanboy thing he did is he wanted to have drinks with him. And, like, he was ready to fight Natsu, and Natsu was messing with Lecter during the start of the Avatar, like, mini-arc. And then you have, in One Piece, Bardo Mello, who literally, like, hyperventilates and starts, like, getting ready to spew all over himself just by looking at Straw Hats. And it's just like, okay, thanks, guys. That's totally not the goofiness of the super actual fanboy. Is Fire Dragon King mode without the Igneel tattoo around Natsu's natural dragon form in terms of power? Wait, is Fire Dragon King mode without the Igneel tattoo around Natsu's natural dragon force in terms of power? No, I think Dragon Force is more powerful. It's definitely stronger. Like, Fire Dragon King mode is just like a normal buffed up one. He doesn't seem to have that, like, exhausted, like, level. Because we saw it when any time that he went out of Fire Dragon King mode, he seemed fine, other than, you know, the Igneel tattoo one, which was a specific situation, versus Dragon Force, where he's just exhausted following, because that's, you know, he's super drained to his power at that point. People also complain that Natsu beating Sting and Rogue was too easy. No, because, like, the thing is, Sting and Rogue's whole backstory hype was easily false, because it was 14 years prior in the story the occurrence with the dragons happened. And Sting and Rogue were, what, 19, 20? Do people think that they were, like, 5 or 6 years old and killing dragons? That's silly. And, again, like, Sabretooth was only on top because Fairy Tail lost its core members. Jura didn't participate in the Grand Magic Games. Kagura never fought seriously. Ichiya never fought seriously. They were on top because of very specific situations. If you threw Jura in there, then Sabretooth wouldn't have been on top. Jura alone was enough to take the spot. Fire Dragon King mode should be closer to Lightning Flame Dragon mode. I think it's definitely far stronger than Lightning Flame Dragon mode. But we haven't seen that since the Mard Gear fight. I've always had the theory that he had to ditch it. He had to somehow, like, get rid of it in order to access Fire Dragon King mode. Or maybe Dragon Force, like maybe there was a hindrance level to it, we don't know. I mean, we're probably never going to see it again. I wish that he fought most of the characters in within Alvarez as Lightning Flame Dragon mode. Or at least, like, leading up to it, and then Fire Dragon King mode is like, alright, get serious, and then obviously Dragon Force was his, time to hopefully either kill this guy or die in the process. I feel like they downplay Mirror a lot. Yeah, I agree. My favorite fight between the Sprints were August Brandish and Larcade. I really like Larcade. Least favorite Spriggan is Demaria, Godsarena, and Nineheart. Mine is Nineheart, because Nineheart didn't give me Mardgear Historia, and I'll forever hate him for it. And if he ever comes back and does that, then I will. He's just, until then, rotting in jail. Who do you think is the strongest member of Joe's crew, besides Joe? I want to put my money on Maria Slime, just because she's the coolest looking out of them so far. Serrano definitely feeling an orgasm. She was enjoying it, for sure. Mira's irrelevant. She had to beat Jacob through a gag. I mean, she had a lot of cool wins and cool moments throughout the series, too. Especially when you count, like, the Starry Sky arc when she went to Halthus. That was awesome. I mean, she She gets either like dicked or she gets like a really cool scene. That's pretty much Mira's existence, unfortunately. Who do you think Laxus, Minerva, and Kagura had sex with since art? Laxus was probably banging anybody he felt. Same thing with probably Minerva. Kagura, I don't know. Maybe Kagura, you know, maybe she hooked up with some dude recently. I mean, Minerva and Laxus are both like, they're both pretty alpha. So if they saw somebody and they felt like it, they'd probably approach them and just, you know, get down to business. Kagura is a little bit of a mystery. I'm not too sure. They're probably characters we don't know. I mean, there's no indication between like any relationship between like Laxus or any of them. I mean, the only one you could really pull out from Minerva is Rogue, because obviously like Yukino is, you know, is leaned towards Sting, and Minerva is leaned towards Rogue from, you know, some of the scenes we've seen between them. Obviously they've got like, yeah, for sure. Kagura doesn't look like it for Kagura. Doesn't look like it, Sheridan Kane. What if Austin and Yuna's team fought each other in the Royal Magic Knights exam? So yeah, I still think that Austin would win, because the biggest thing that Yuno displayed was his Spirit Storm, and obviously it's different now. He's got higher level with Mana Zone incorporated into it. But really, what happened the last time a dude tried to shoot a big energy beam at Asta while he's in his black form? He'd get black, like he just pierced through it, black meteorite him down. Yuno is obviously ranged. He's very mobile, but he's not. He's more powerful than Asta right now because he can hold his Spirit Dive much longer than Asta can hold his black form. But at the time of, I still think Asta would win, just because like Yuno didn't have a lot of display other than Spirit Storm, and we already saw like, hey, let me shoot a big magic beam at you, and then Asta just was like, jump right through it, black meteorite the hell out of him. Fastest Stampede greater than Sasuke, I agree. That was wait, which one was never confirmed? Oh, well, no, you could base out, like it was obvious, like Larcade's magic works on non-virgins. The pleasure one worked on Kagura. Wait, did it work on Kagura in general, or was it when the tendrily kind of like tentacle pieces were him? I'd have to double check, because that's different. Because that was like kind of like an extension, like you're just applying it to them. I'm gonna have to double check. I'm gonna pull that up right now and look. I think it was just the normal one. I think it was just this normal like radiation, like pleasure aura that he was using, like for the most part. I'm going back to look real quick, because I think it's 509. 509, I think is the chapter. Just pulling it up really quick. Yeah, 509. She ends up biting her tongue. It's with the tendril one, so maybe she's not. Maybe she is still a virgin. We don't know. I mean, the tendril ones were clearly needed more contact instead of like just the presence of them. I feel like that one was more of like applying it directly to people instead of like hyping up if they felt it. Yeah, she hurt herself in order to stop it. Half Dragon mode or E&D mode, which do you think is stronger? I would say the one from Dragon Cry as 3, E&D is 2, the one we saw against Gray. Maybe that one's a little bit kind of like iffy. You know, I'll go the E&D we saw 3, Dragon Cry 1, and then the top one. The top one is gonna be the seven fire dragons, Dragon Force 1, because that one was so much that Ignil's scales were being stimulated and like flaring up. So like that one's top. The second one is definitely the one that we saw against Mertzphobia. That one's definitely the strongest one that Natsu has access. Well, not access to. That one we'll probably see moving forward. I'm wondering if maybe we'll find something that the one that he had during the fight with Acnologia may relate to his Etheria style. Because I actually really like the way that it was colored in the anime. Natsu's like claws were that dark red lined with a like thicker, brighter burnt red, which I thought was really cool, and adds further ideas towards the form that he got recently in 100 Years Quest. Who do you think is the strongest Fairy Tail member that Sting can beat? My guess is, wait, is it Sting by himself? Just Sting? Because obviously there's a huge gap between Sting and Rogue and just Sting. By himself, he can definitely beat someone like Freed. Probably anyone with the Raijin Shu, any of the Thunder God tribe. But I feel like Sting by himself, I think Mira is too much for him. Well, I guess that can't really be the case now because he took hits from Acnologia, so really just any like Dragon Slayers, probably. Urza, probably. guild arts, probably, and then everyone else besides below those characters, Sting should be fine taking. Let me scroll down. Igneel tattoo power or E&D in terms of power. Igneel power E&D in terms of power. I would say the Igneel tattoo one was more powerful because like the thing about the E&D one that we saw, that was a fragment. You know, you go watch any of my videos of it. That was just a fragment of it because it was only that small piece of the book that was taken out, and there was so much left. As you know, I'm still calling it the Etherius form that we saw merged with his Dragon Force is the Etherius Dragon Force. That was a much further amount progressed. I love that dragon tattoo though. I would show you guys my tattoo if $10, $10 donation, and I'll post a picture of it on the Twitter, or I guess I'll just post it on the stream. It'll be really cool. All in trades. You guys want to see that? But anyway, God, where was I? I got sidetracked. Jake and that's not at me. What's this show? Wait, that's not shown in friendly. You lech. You tell him. It's kind of sad that Minerva was more of a rival to Urza later post time skip than Mira. Well, Mira definitely fell off. Definitely a shame. Mira still had a couple moments that were really cool, which at least there was that. I was always, I don't know why I said always twice. I was always kind of confused why Mira didn't have more of a spotlight. Because she was, you know, OG character from the beginning. And she had a couple good moments. She has a lot of better ones in the anime. She gets more spotlight in the anime, so I think the anime team likes her. They like Yukino a lot too. Maybe it's the white hair. But Asta could not go into black form because he used it 2 times already after he battled Langris. I mean, that's true. And so, well, yeah, well, if he can't, then Asta would get bodied by, you know, I thought it was just like the idea of their 2 teams went against each other, like round 1, go, and then they both bust out their forms. That's what I was going with. I think it was the tentacles. Always the tentacles. I'd say the current anime, you know, is stronger than Asta, and Asta due to having more stamina, but in the current manga, Asta is stronger since he's able to use his anti-magic form better and longer. No, Yuno can use his form longer. We saw that already twice. Because, like, look at their fight with Licht. Asta ran out, and Licht was still, or Yuno was still fighting Licht, and Asta had to have that, quote, like, limit break moment where he was able to use his black form for a 3rd time during the day. Wendy, I'm an innocent virgin, so please, I can't feel pleasure. Wendy is an innocent treasure, factually. So right now we're basically having a mini tournament arc since Xiao Mei before Draken Joe. So how do you feel about that? I like it. I like the coolness of it. You know, we're going to get a display of all these different characters. We're going to get to see just like a cool bunch of exhibition fights, which I think will be very enjoyable. I like the display of what we're probably going to see. You know, get a little bit probably backstory on top of getting like some badass fighting moments, which will be really cool to see. Definitely looking forward to that. I want to see Homura use a sick technique. I would love to see Homura use a sick technique in this, just to see some badass name do something. Maybe something with her cool, like what kind of leaves for those? Are those maple leaves that she has on her clothing all the time, or at least something along those? We'll see. We'll see how it is. Hopefully soon. Better animated transformation, Black Asta or Spirit Dive Yuno. The better, like, just in general, or the whole thing, because Yuno was only in his form, like, they extended the fight, and then it was Spirit Dive, and then he just did Spirit Storm. I'd say Yuno's was way more consistent, but I really liked parts with Asta, and I'd say I'd pick Asta because I love the part when you see him coming out of the beam, and there's like a short moment. If you go watch the fight scene, there's a moment where Asta is coming through Langris's heat attack. Or not Langris, Ludros's energy beam, you know, his magic fiery dragon beam. And you see the demon of Asta's Grimoire's face for a brief moment silhouetted in the fire, and then he comes out. And I think that was just so cool of him just, you know, just emerging from the flames and Black Meteorite him. Definitely Black Meteorite was not as handled as well as you know, Spirit Storm. That looked way better. But I think overall I liked Black Asta more than Yuno its Spirit Dive. But I think Yuno's was way more consistent with the way that it was. Yeah, the animation was awesome. Mora is super cute. I really like Homura. Oh wait, hang on, almost lost my spot. Do you think Sting by himself can beat Wendy or Lucy? I think he can beat Lucy. I don't. Well, I think he can maybe beat Lucy. I don't think he can beat Wendy. Wendy's too. Wendy is super powerful. That I don't think people give her credit for. I feel like Natsu being an Aetherius gives him an extra layer of interest to the character. Like he's this powerful, fun character, but he's also really dangerous. Yeah, I really like. I really love that turn for Natsu. Natsu's always been like, because the thing about Natsu is he's always been this very dangerous kind of guy. In the act, he's short-tempered, he's destructive, but he's always, for the most part, meant well. I mean, as long as you didn't talk shit about the guild, he means well. But now you have an actual dangerous like tone to him. You have this very deadly layer on top of his whole being, which I thought was really cool. And now he's going to have to hone that, and it's going to be really cool to see if eventually he can bring that to control, and he could use what Zareth made as this ultimate end to instead bring about, like, you know, this force defeating evil and you know, enemies that they have, which will be pretty nice, and you know, to progress it. Next, I wonder if we'll see more of Noelle versus and Noelle and Jack versus Spawn. I want to see more of Valkyrie Jess. Well, I think they're gonna show up to maybe aid against the devil. Maybe we'll have a bunch of people show up and use a bunch of group attacks. Maybe, you know, to create an opening for Asta and Licht and Lumir to get in that finishing blow on him, which I think will be really cool. You used to imagine like a sick moment where all of them kind of unite just to put Asta's anti-magic sword right through that dude's fucking chest. That'd be badass. Black Meteorite at Spirit Storm. I liked Black Meteorite in the manga more, but I liked Spirit Storm more in the anime. Oh, what's up, Catherine Merkel? How's it going? How are you today? If you know, as long as you show up for the stream, I'd appreciate it. You know, any who hasn't yet, that's new, subscribe, thumbs up the video, and all donations are welcome. Super chats or whatever, all is welcome. No pressure on it. Just doing a every once in a while shill for the channel. If you had to guess, where do you think that we go next arc after this in Black Clover? I'd say maybe a time skip where we go into the Diamond Kingdom. I think there'll be a short time. I made a video on it. I think there'll be a short time skip and then the Diamond Kingdom. Maybe not like a year. I think a couple months. And maybe we'll get like slight alterations to the characters' designs. Maybe just like a little bit of different clothes. There's actually, I gotta talk to one of my friends. He told me something, I guess, that Tabata made as a joke. I want to do a goofy video on eventually. I gotta talk to him whenever he's online, so look forward to it. It'll be pretty funny. How do you feel about people saying Guild Arts is a huge ripoff of Shanks? They say that they look alike and act the same. Well, they don't look. For one, they don't act anything alike. If they only look similar in the anime. Like look at Shanks Design 1 versus Guild Arts Design 1, and then look what they look like after the time skip. Shanks, you know, actually like early Shanks looks pretty lame, and then like time skip Shanks, he's all super badass looking. Guild Arts always had that look, and then after the time skip, he's like buffs magic Ned Stark. I mean, they don't act similar. I mean, they have that kind of like missing arm, but Guild Arts has, you know, also missing leg. His actually makes sense how he got it. Like Shanks losing a limb to a random fodder like big eel in East Blue like makes no fucking sense. But also the fact that, I mean, I guess they're both like fatherly figures to the main character, but Shanks was like one time where he met Luffy for a brief period, and like Guild Arts has been there for Natsu like for years throughout his life, had a big presence as he grew up and helping him and shit. I mean, I don't know. I don't like the comparison. I think it's a little bit dumb. Both attacks were awesome. Guild Arts being a design is a Rave Master reference for a bunch of other characters. Oh, there's a bunch of them. Yeah, it was Crash Cookie's Crash Darkbrain, and there's a lot of characters that gets carried over to have, you know, some reference to an old character. Like anytime there's a lot of moments where it's like Hiroshima will take a power and that wasn't used and wasn't utilized as well. Something like Crash Cookie's power, which was really cool, but he was on like this villain that was like 2 chapters, and then put it on Guild Arts, who's, you know, a big badass view. Otherwise, it's like a waste of a perfectly good ability and idea. Biggest thought in Black Clover? Soul, because it's all. I guess it's towards one person, but fuck that bitch. What do you think of my anime Rex? I mean, wait, Godzilla, the Netflix Godzilla anime. I thought it was fine. I thought the crazy cosmic stuff with Ghidorah was a little bit wacky. I liked some of the badass Super Godzilla stuff they did. All for One versus Rob Lucci. All for One would body Rob Lucci. He'd beat the shit out of him. They really did Asta's attacks dirty in the anime. I mean, it wasn't the execution, the last moment, Black Meteorite wasn't as cool, but I love this, like, I love that scene where Asta, is following him, and just, like, you see the black energy constantly consuming, Ludros's beam, which I thought was awesome. That made that scene so much more badass, and just him coming out of the beam, like I said, I thought was great. I thought that was fantastic. Yeah, Steve agrees. Do you think the Black Bulls captain is a guy or girl? Oh, their vice captain? I'm gonna go with guy. I feel like it's a guy. I feel like if it was a chick, she would have been mentioned. I feel like if it's a dude, you got all these other dudes running around. Especially with Finral. I feel like Finral would have definitely noted them for sure. I don't know. My guess is dude. Where do you think, who do you think was being a worse sibling from the beginning, Nozzle or Byakuya? Nozzle, because Byakuya wasn't horrible, he just didn't acknowledge Rukia, he was never mean to her. I mean, Nozzle was kind of, like, shitty to her, he said a lot of mean stuff. I would definitely give it to him. Acnologia versus Seven Deadly Sins, Acnologia would completely demolish them. He's got magic immunity, he's faster, he's more powerful, and, like, the thing is, so I was arguing with someone recently, because they're talking about, like, well, Meliodas, is a threat to Britannia. And it's like, well, Britannia is, I think, like, 300 to 400 kilometers from north to south. And that's, because I think that's funny. Because people don't take into account the sizes of the countries. Because Britannia is real-world Britannia. What's it, island? I don't remember. I think it's around somewhere between 300 to 400 kilometers from north to south, or something like that. Thanks to Wall and Demaria, the distance between Hargion to Magnolia is 370 kilometers. And the entire country of Fiore, which was the second smallest country in Fairy Tail, is over 6,000 kilometers. So, destroying a small country in one series, which they haven't even done in Seven Deadly Sins, and you look at Ethereon, which is, like, mid-level now, thanks to Wall, Wall the good boy, doing all this stuff for power levels in Fairy Tail. Destroying a country in Fairy Tail, a small one, is like destroying a continent in our world. Like, that's such a huge gap in power. Oh, Black Hurricane? Yeah, Black Hurricane was like, in the anime. What's my favorite Fairy Tail opening? My favorite are 3... 16, 21, and 25. If I had to pick one, I'd probably go 16. What's that, Strike Back? I love Strike Back. That one's really good. When do you think Gadjo surpassed Jose? I mean, he surpassed him probably, I would say, probably definitely the White Shadow Dragon, the one they had, during the Grand Magic Games. So that one for sure. I think him in general, definitely during Albreth. For sure, or Alvarez. I always get the names mixed up because I got so used to fan translations. Tachi must kill family. Oh, old itchy boy. When do you think Gadjo... Oh, wait, I already read that. Black Hurricane, yeah. Do you think that Zora is the team's... Wait, where do you think Zora is the terms of power? I mean, he's pretty... I mean, he's not power-based. I mean, he's still strong, but he's entirely strategic. He's entirely, like, set up stuff, plan, scheme, lure people into traps, do all this setup to get him in these spots. I mean, that's really cool for him, and I've always loved that about his character. I mean, in terms of power, I mean, if you just put him in, like, hey, show me your strongest attack, he's probably not that strong, but you put him against some really strong character, and you give him enough time to get ready, and he's gonna fuck him up. Acnologia versus the Water Dragon. I think Acnologia 1v1 can beat any of the other ones, unless one of them ends up being absurd. I think 1v1 he can take any of them because the fact that he can consume magic in general. I don't think that he could fight them in a group. But space between time, Acnologia, yeah, I think he would have been fine fighting multiple of them, if not all of them. We'll see how that goes. What if Urza fought Pika from Dressrosa instead of Zoro? What'd she do against him? Which Zoro? Or which Urza? Is this like Grand Magic Games? I guess it was Tartarus was running the same time as Dressrosa, so what, Tartarus Urza? Because Tartarus Urza would still body Pika. Who's better strategist, Shikamaru or Zora? I'd say Zora, because, like, Shikamaru was, like, on the spot, like, okay, fall back, strategize, go at it. Zora was like, I thought of this yesterday, and then laid out his traps, and then he just is like, all right, I'm ready to do this. Tartarus or Grand Midget Games? I would say Tartarus for sure. Grand Midget Games, I'd put it kind of like up there because Armature Fairy Armor, but no, obviously after that point she had the second origin to boost her power at least doubled. So I think she could have destroyed Pika. I definitely know that Tartarus and beyond would have trashed him. Like, Tartarus Urza could still fight current Zoro, and Urza right now is way beyond Tartarus Urza. Dragon Master Knight versus Acnologia. Dragon Master Knight is stronger. Dragon Master Knight is stronger because he's more powerful than Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. So, for this really quick clarification, Yu-Gi-Oh! Power levels for one are insane. Each of the god cards should have each of the Egyptian gods between Slifer, Obelisk, and Ra they could easily destroy the planet. And Blue Eyes in the lore, like when Blue Eyes was actually a real dragon instead of the card, Blue Eyes was equal to an Egyptian god, and Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon is three of them merged. So you have one character more powerful than you just put in three times of Egyptian gods. You have three planet busters, at least, probably star levels because of some other examples of stuff in Yu-Gi-Oh. Let's just at the moment stick with planet. Triple it, and then take Blackluster Soldier, the strongest warrior in Yu-Gi-Oh lore, and then stack him on top, and he's gonna casually wipe the planet off there. Cyber Dark Dragon is still my favorite. Oh my god, they're now coming out with new evil hero support. I'm so happy. I want them to create. They already have. What did they show so far? I know that there's a new version. What is this? There's one of gold. I can't remember the guy's name. He's a 4-star with 2100 attack, and you can discard him to add a dark fusion or pretty much dark calling into your hand just by discarding him. And then there's one that's pretty much like an evil version of Necros, of Elemental Hero Necros, which is named Sinister Necrom, and you can, I think if he's in the graveyard, you banish him, and you could summon a level 5 or higher evil hero from your hand. So, bring out, like, Malicious Edge, which, I love evil heroes. Evil heroes is one of my favorite decks. Evil heroes has always been one of my favorite decks. You bring in Dark Gaia, you bring him out there by fusing Necrosphere, and what is his name? Fucking Valkyrian, the Magna Warrior. He's got 7,500 attack. And I think his power, he flips anything he attacks flips over in I think an attack position, and their effects are negated. So you're rolling in with 7,500 points right on top of somebody. Oh, so awesome! I love that character. Oh, let me scroll back before I don't lose my place. Slifer the Sky Dragon versus Acnologia. Slifer again would also destroy Acnologia. You'd annihilate him. He's too powerful for him. I mean. No, because legitimately Yu-Gi-Oh's power level is ridiculous. Yu-Gi-Oh power levels are insane. It seems Joe is being hyped up more than Shuda and Gaggio, from which I find interesting. I mean, he's got more hype because Gaggio was he was the ace of a rival guild. He wasn't the big deal of it. That was Josei, and Shuda didn't have a ton of hype around him, to be perfectly honest. We got more hype of Shuda after the fact. I just read the new sports manga series Beast Children Jump. Is it? I don't know. I haven't read it. I might check it out. I don't know. I'm not too keen on sports manga. When Rebecca officially finds out about how corrupt her guild master is, do you think she and Happy will leave the guild or take him down? I think that they'll take the guy down and get a new guild master, because it's not like unless the whole guild is corrupt. Otherwise, why would they leave if it's just the one guy? It makes more sense for them to go after him. But they also don't know. They theorize. What do you think of the transformation? What do you think of the transformation? Black Clover, Spirit Dive, Demon Asta, Valkyrie Dress, and Elpazit's Luck? I like Valkyrie Dress's design the most, I'd say. I think that I'll end up liking Spirit Dive the most. Like, just if we took what it looks like now and just folied it over, because I like the weird crown. I think his crown is really cool, and I like the halos around his hands. I think those are super cool looking. Super cool looking. I love those. Evil heroes are very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I love evil heroes. In the last stream, you said Ravines of Time, Acnologia, Fairy Heart, Zerif. How do you feel about Acno being sealed by Fairy's Fuel, which is canonically weaker than Fairy Heart, and was being fueled by the equivalent of 0% of Fairy Heart? Oh yeah, but he was being held back by an entire continent. Fairy Heart isn't like you have infinite energy. It's an infinite supply. It's not like... Because otherwise it'd be like infinite energy, he used any random spell, infinite energy would be like destroy the universe. It's always seemed more like you have an infinite supply of what you're at. Like take the idea, because they said the Ethereon has always been used as the base. Like, it's at least Ethereon level of energy infinitely. Like, for instance, Merlin in Seven Deadly Sins, she has infinite energy, but she only has enough attack of, like, I think her attack level is like city level. It doesn't mean that she can just infinitely apply energy to one attack to make it infinitely powerful. It's more like she can use the level that she has infinitely. So, like, I'm gonna, like, in normalcy, like, I can put all my power into this attack and it could destroy a city. Well, in her case, she can put all of her power and destroy a city infinitely and just keep stacking that damage over. Like, obviously, if you put... I mean, that's also the fact that they only were holding back Acnologia because of motion sickness on top of it. Like, if you take motion sickness out of there, he probably would have busted right through. Because he was being drastically weakened and it was still barely holding him. How would other Yu-Gi-Oh! Main characters fare against Acnologia? All of them would beat him. Every single Yu-Gi-Oh! character, or main character, is more powerful. Yugi is... Let me just kind of run through them real quick. Yugi is literally can control a multiversal god who created the entire Yu-Gi-Oh! Multiverse, like I said. He can control time, space, fate, creation. He's gone beyond infinity. Jaden can, with super polymerization as the Supreme King, confuse the 12 dimensions of the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Verse together. The original universe, so 12 dimensions, all the size of universes. Yusei can travel time. He can blast stars, like pop stars, and force them into black holes from the pressure of synchro summoning. It was a Delta XL synchro summon, but Yusei could use a level above that called Limit over XL synchro summon, so he's more powerful, being able to blow up stars casually. Yuma had the Numeron code, which was able to rewrite and control the universe itself that he was in. And Yuya, literally as Zark, was pulling multiple universes into the same reality just by fucking existing. Like, there's this crazy... Yu-Gi-Oh! Power levels is crazy. We have an Exodia. Dude, Exodia is a fucking savage. And Exodia is still relevant. People still use it. Tanjiro versus Deku. I'd put my money on Deku right now. Because, like, what is it? Demon Slayer, like, Kimetsu no Yaiba, their power levels aren't nearly that high at the moment. They have some good powers in it, a good couple abilities, but they don't have a lot of, like, crazy things on top of it, like, a lot of, like, crazy high stuff. A lot of it's just, like, swordsman techniques. They don't have a lot of, like, throwing big trees was still, like, a threat to them early in the series, and we haven't seen stuff too high above that. But, like, Deku should be no problem killing them. We'll see, though. I mean, they could have some crazy jump easily, but I doubt it. One second. I know Rebecca likes cats, but if she met Fairy Tail Happy, do you think she would find his trolling annoying? If she get trolled to hell by him, yeah, but what is she going to do? Nothing. She'd get wrecked. Luck versus Noelle. Noelle would win. Noelle would probably definitely win. As long as she can control her Valkyrie just further, she would win. What do you think was the most hype moment in Fairy Tail was? For me, it was Zero transforming into his god mode. Let me think. I really liked seeing Natsu's True Dragon Force during the Marred Gear fight. I'd say that was probably my favorite. That was probably my favorite chapter. I love seeing that. There's so many aspects of that chapter I really enjoyed. I'll do a video on that eventually, because obviously, people are going to want to know what my favorite one is. It was pretty sick. Super, super dope scene. Super dope, like, laid out that whole chapter. Everything about that was beautiful. It was so much fun. I love the True Dragon Force aspect of it. I love the layout of it. It was gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Anyway, where was I? Almost lost my spot. Ethereon was used an example, then Mavis clarified, saying it implies infinite. Yeah, it was. She said it has no limits, but that's an infinite supply, because otherwise it'd be like infinity. Like, imagine infinity, because then you could just... if you had infinity, then how do you beat it? It'd be the same thing with Merlin. Like, Merlin would have no problem beating anybody in Seven Deadly Sins with infinite. I imagine it's more like a set amount, and then infinite of that. Like, you know, if it's like, oh, this thing's power is 100, then you have infinite 100. It's not like its power is infinity, where you could take any random spell, apply very hard to it, and destroy the planet. But we never got a showing of it otherwise. We never got, like, a demonstration of it that's, like, applied to a spell. I wish we did, but, you know, that's just always how I've depicted it. I think it's literally just that it will have an unlimited supply. I mean, if you stood there charging forever, I guess, but I don't think it's just like, I have fairy heart. Okay, snap my fingers, universe is gone. I think it's more like an infinite supply. Irene versus August. I feel like Irene can win if she goes Dragon Form. I don't think so. I think August would win. August is too versatile. Who would you want to lead you into battle between Erwin from Attack on Titan or Lelouch? Lelouch, for sure. Lelouch is like 40 chessing everybody throughout the whole series. Like, he only had a couple blunders because of, like, just being inexperienced at the start. I would definitely follow Lelouch. Plus, you get a mech. What do you with Erwin? You're gonna get you get the 3D maneuvering gear. I'm taking a mech. I'll take a Nightmare Frame. So how does All Might from one? How does All Might for one body Lucci wouldn't use 6 gun burst into him in pieces? He just punch him out. Like, he wasn't that strong. At least it's this, because we have Rob Lucci. He's back, and he's got more hype around him, but we haven't seen anything. So until then, I'm just using the CP9 arc version. I mean, we've seen, like, All Might's made, like, tornadoes from his punches and stuff. Yami, Nozzle, Fuego Leon versus Julius. Julius would win. Julius is too powerful. Dude's just a beast. He's an absolute savage. I'm gonna get wrecked happy as weakest on. Wait, what do you mean get wrecked happy? So he get wrecked, doesn't he get trolled? He'd get joked on. Strongest Black Clover character pre-Nomu All Might can beat. I mean, it would have to be like, I think he would, not Vito. Vito's regeneration is too much. And then he's got, like, the beams and shit. He's got the armor on top of, like, piercing attacks. Let me think. I think Vito is, like, a good, like, area for him. It'd be like he'd be able to win a fair amount. Maybe like 5 out of 10 fights with him. This is what I'd probably put in there. One of my favorite quotes from Asta is what he said before he laid the final blow on Vito. Oh yeah, despair you've lost. That page was really beautiful, and the way that, like, his dialogue was, like, formatted, I thought that was great. What exactly was happening, though, Zaref connected Ruin's time to the Guildhall doors? Well, yeah, but that's because he connected it with the space between time. He needed an extra layer on top of that. Because otherwise, if he has infinite magic at that point, then why was he afraid to fight Acnologia? He would have been fine given that idea. That's part of the problem that I think is really in there. Because you have to keep that in mind. If it wasn't for the fact that he had that, then he would have been fine going against Acno, but he couldn't. Because it's Dragon Slayer and Dragon elemental aspects, their ability to eat stuff. It's not infinite. It's a high level of resistance. Because otherwise Natsu would have just ate August's spell, but he couldn't because it was too much for him in his base form. Oh my god. I think I'm caught up. Yep, I'm caught up. Fantastic. Gwen support unit in the Super Robot War series, unfortunately. That was awesome. My character's spare. Fuck that. I'm too badass for despairing. Eventually you gotta have some struggle. Zach Gunn, do you think that the fights in Eden Zero are becoming a problem? Shiki keeps stomping everyone besides that fake Elsie clone. Well, this was the first character. That's what I talked about in the review. I'm hoping it's 5 rounds. Everyone gets a round. Shiki gets a second round, but his second fight is more serious. Because that's always I've said that too. I don't like that Shiki's just beating everybody, but this was just a random dude at the end of a chapter for demonstration. I mean, I don't think that he'll crush. I don't think he's gonna crush Draken Joe. I mean, that's for sure. I don't think that. That would make me mad. It looks pretty, yes, but the black hole drivers are literally its only thing. Yeah. Do you think Deadpool and Twice would interact? Oh my god, that would make me cringe. I don't want to have Deadpool in there. Twice is like a good combination of being kind of goofy funny without it being too much. Deadpool gets a little bit too much sometimes. Yeah, I hope Shiki versus Dragon Joe is going to be fire too. Larkade versus anyone in Black Clover. Uh, oh, he would work on relatively any of the older people. I mean, it would work on Julius. So I mean, it's very situational on where exactly it would go down. Plus, he's a demon, so would Julius's time magic even work on it? Because it looks like the demons don't age. It's never seemed like the demons age at all. So I'm wondering if his time magic would even work on them. He wasn't afraid to fight Aknologi. He just doesn't accomplish so. Well, no, he said that he couldn't beat him. He said he couldn't beat him. The only way that he thought he could defeat him was to go back in time to fight him before that all happened. Because otherwise he would have drained Fairy Heart, went and defeated Acnologia, came back, and then would have still had Mavis. He was doing this for the good of everything. He still wanted to reset, but part of it was that he wanted to beat Acnologia. What do you think argues more than Zoro and Sanji or Natsu and Gray? Natsu and Gray, because until this chapter, did you see that someone noted, literally before this chapter, it had been 219 chapters since Zoro and Sanji had interacted? Over 200 chapters. I think it was 219. It might have been more than that, of those characters, them just not even being around each other, which is crazy. All right, I'm gonna start wrapping up soon. You know, getting ready, probably play a little bit more games for the videos. Oh, next week. So next week I might do a Friday stream. I might do a Friday stream instead of Sunday. I might go try and visit some family. I'll probably mention it in the Black Clover video at that point in time when it's that close. And then the other thing I wanted to bring up is soon the Zen patch for Black Mesa, if you've ever played that game, is going to come out, and I want to play that from start to finish. So I'm going to plan that, and that's going to be like a 12-hour long stream if anybody wants to show up and watch that. You know, ask any questions. It'll be a long stream, but I love Half-Life, and I've been waiting forever for them to finish this last part of this updated HD version of the game. Wait, let me see. Who do you think the first girl in Fairy Tail Wise would want to smash the most? Probably Kana. I guess it's Kana, but she'd smash him, and then he would feel all violated. Okay, what is your favorite super form in the current shonen anime? I really like Natsu's new form. I think I like the simplistic yet like kind of badass like complexity to it. I think that's really good. I think that I've always loved that one. Hang on. What's this I'm reading? Oh, hang on. Somebody's asking me a question. Okay, anyway. Sorry, I got distracted really quick. What program do you use to make videos? I use OBS. I want to start making better... I want to get something to have better video editing. Because, like, even... I kind of like the way that I do it now because it's not really edited. You know, it's a lot more honest, and it feels like, you know, you're getting a much more genuine opinion from me instead of, like, you know, something kind of, like, created and formatted for a shorter video. One second. I keep getting distracted. People are asking me questions on a separate area. But yeah, I definitely think that's definitely an aspect for it. Why do I keep getting side message distracted again? Yeah, my favorite. Do you think Deku will have to come clean with All for One? I think he will once. Once he's maybe trained up enough for to kind of become the symbol of peace like All Might wants, or he never will, because then it would kind of create like a danger of whoever becomes his apprentice. What do you think? I don't know. That's just kind of where I've been looking at. I would definitely love dating Lucy or Mira. Mira would be she's a spicy girl. Be careful. Said you use OBS. Didn't quite hear that right. Yeah, I currently use OBS, but I'm thinking about trying to do something else. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. What series would you like to see in the Fairy Tail World, Rave Master, or Eden Zero World? Wait, What series would you want to see beat in Fairy Tail World? Brave Master World or Eden Zero World? Oh, we'll probably get a crossover soon. There's already the Wraith Master crossover if you've read that one. For the Fairy Tail X Wraith Master. We'll probably get a triple one somewhere down the line. I'm gonna guess in a year or so. Maybe a year or two, and we'll get a sick crossover, because I think Hiroshima said he doesn't plan on Eden Zero being as long as Fairy Tail. Like, he already has, like, generally his idea planned out for the series. Attack on Titan is hell on earth. No one wants to live in that world. Would you live in My Hero Academia world at the risk of turning into an animal, like person, like Spinner? I don't want to live in the Macadamia world. Like, it's like, I don't want to be an animal person. That sounds awful. That sounds absolutely terrible. I don't want that to any capacity. I meant what world you want to live in between those three. Oh, I'd probably live... I'd probably pick Eden Zero, because well, actually, no, because Fairy Tail... Because not everyone is magic in Fairy Tail, but there was never there was always... Sorry, started real quick. There was always an explanation that... Actually, didn't Jalal, like, it was explained that Jalal, there's, like, a certain way that anyone can learn to use magic in an aspect. I think he did. Plus, even if you couldn't, you could figure out how to use curses. You could figure out curses and go towards that instead. And then curses are still pretty badass. Oh, my cat is now awake. She sees I'm doing stuff, and now she wants to come bother me. Hey, what are you doing? Hey, I'm busy right now. Listen. Hi. He said Eden Zero would be around 20 volumes. Yeah, he said, I remember thinking... Yeah, but the thing, though, the difference between the two is... He said with Fairy Tail, he had an idea what he's doing, but he didn't have the overall story thought out. He wanted to keep going as he was going. Eden Zero, he said that he has generally the idea of what he wants to do. Obviously, that can change. Like, easily that can change. But Urza versus Kenpachi, that's a close one. Because, like, I think one of the issues is Kenpachi's Bankai, there was never, like, a huge gap for us to see, because we never saw, like, much from Gerard Valkyrie, other than, like, his Bankai is stronger than his Shikai. There was no, like, number percentage, like, oh, actually, isn't it, like, a 10 times boost or something? I'd have to double check of, like, I think Bankai is, like, a known at least something of level. I would say, I feel like Kenpachi would be, I think Kenpachi currently would win more than he'd lose. But I think that'll change in the future, since Urza has still got room to get stronger, whereas Kenpachi's pretty much done. At least I think so. Hoping to look forward to Tokyo Shinobi. Oh, is there a new, wait, next week, is there a new, manga coming out next week too? Oh, cool. I'll look forward to that for sure. How would Jalal, oh my god, I'm getting so many messages all of a sudden. How would Jalal on the other side of characters feel about Natsu being indie and being his brother? I mean, as long as, I feel like Jalal, he'd be kind of weirded out by it, but he still would want to, he would still want to use him to take out, still want to use it to take out Zaref, which is, you know, his overall goal. And as long as it led up to it, he'd be fine with it. 5 to 10 times power up. Was that in general? I mean, yeah. I would say Kenpachi more often than not right now, but I think with Urza it'll change, because there's still clearly a ways to go for Fairy Tail power levels. They're still going up. I think Kenpachi sliced a bunch. He sliced, it was one meteor, but it was slow, but it was big, whereas Deuce Senma was, by the time it got to Earth, it was small, or I guess Earth land in their case. By the time it got to their planet, it was small, but it was super fast. It was much faster. Rex knows your series coming along. It's going, I thought of some stuff recently, because there's a couple that I've got an idea on. I would need to, like, actually, like, sit down and start writing stuff out. It's been a while. I might do a little bit tonight. But if I can, I really want to learn how to draw, like, at least to a degree. Like, I want to get drawing to a degree down. I would have to get a new drawing tablet. So maybe eventually that will happen. You know, and maybe if I ever do. I mean, it would take a while to actually, like, become all right at drawing, and then be able to do it where streams, like, I can show you guys, and you guys can actually, like, maybe see stuff progress. I think that'd be cool. You guys could see the characters. There's a bunch that I really would wish I could draw and do, like, an indie thing, or I could just, you know, do reviews and then of chapters, and then just do, like, draw streams and maybe talk about characters, and then eventually do my own manga. I mean, I feel like I could write like an enjoyable one because I know how a lot of the things people enjoy about like shonen manga and stuff. But I can't draw for shit. Unfortunately, I don't have a steady hand. Hers only sliced one which required all her power. Yeah, that's true. I mean, hers is much stronger now. I mean, she's clearly more powerful, but she was also really beaten the fuck up at that time. Again, I'd say Kenpachi more often than not, but I feel like Urza's gonna be stronger in the long run. She's also more versatile, and then like Nozarashi is huge, so it's just gonna give Urza a nice platform. She's also has way better technique than Kenpachi. Oh, hang on, Oh wait, no, I don't think I missed any comments. Adult Sasuke versus Uryu from Blood War. I'd say Sasuke would win. If Seven Deadly Sins manages to somehow make the Demon King's Elder so legitimate threat-wise, do you think that the ending can be salvaged? Uh, Probably. I mean, the issue is they already like made the Demon King look like an idiot. They destroyed so many of these other like nicely built up characters and fun times, and yet did nothing with them. But I mean, there's still at least they could end on a good note. Maybe it won't fix up for everything else, but it could, add an extra level to it. I doubt Natsu would hurt, or Jalal would hurt Natsu if he found out he was in D. Plus, he wouldn't want to make Urza angry. I mean, he's E and D. He was made to kill Zareth, so he probably would want to figure out how to utilize that. I feel like Urza is out of my league. I ship her too hard, Jalal. Me too. Writing a story. Yeah, I'm writing. There's a couple ideas I have that maybe I'll share more about them. I want to get more of it concrete before I do anything else. I would want at least to have the main characters drawn and then maybe present them, talk about them. But I can't draw for shit. I'd have to find like an artist that I really like and maybe like work with them or something. We'll see. I'm back. It's to take care of some stuff on my YouTube channel and my personal life, but I'm back now. Okay. Well, welcome back, Joshua Light. How's it going? How's everyone else? Luckily, everyone seems to be doing pretty chill, pretty nice and comfortable for Saturday. No, Saturday. For Sunday. This is a Sunday. This is when I always do my Sunday streams. Yamamoto versus Gildarts. I feel like Yamamoto would be like the more like crowd pick, but because of Wall, I would say Gildarts. Like, because Wall pretty much made Ethereon. Like, he's like the everyone above Gildart or above Wall pretty much is scalable from Ethereon, and Ethereon it should be at least able to wipe out a 6,000 kilometer wide country, which is a continent in our world measurements. And I think that's the thing that people don't take a lot into account when thinking about fairy tale power levels. Like, again, country level to them is continental for us, which is super crazy. Agno got stronger and the Demon King got weaker. Yeah, pretty much. Ugh. Do you think of the Promised Neverland? I read the first half. From what I understand, it was the half, and the guy's like the writer is getting close to the end. So once it's over, I'm gonna finish reading through the series. It's good. I like it. It's pretty. I'm pretty sure it sells really well. I didn't actually no. I think it got top 10 last year too. So clearly it's doing pretty well. I want to start my own manga too, but mad work. Yeah, pretty much. I would love to be able to draw and like write stories for a living. That'd be really fun. I love dragons for some reason. Yeah, dragons are awesome. Yamamoto would roast the planet with his Bankai. I always thought that was kind of over exaggerated because he wasn't. He thought he was. There was a statement of him being like a threat to the Soul Society, but it was more like the Serete, and he wasn't like melting the ground around him. He wasn't like. If there was like signs of like buildings like miles away were melting, then it'd be like one thing, but it wasn't. So I think it was just kind of overhyped. When it's the next stream, I stream for right now unless my schedule changes, it will be every Sunday. If my schedule changes, I will tell people and we'll work out a new day. But Sunday at least, and then I usually will do some random impromptu streams throughout maybe the week. I want to get back to that, just some random like game streams. I am planning. If anybody here is interested, I'm planning of doing just like a Dark Souls 3 new game plus. I think it's like +3 mode. If you guys want to watch me, probably die a lot in Dark Souls and see my Dark Souls character, run around killing monsters and shit, then, we could do that. I'd be willing to do that. Everyone loves Dark Souls. Dark Souls is awesome. Oh, I missed your comment. 1 second. Let me scroll up JK Network. I try not to miss comments. Wait, Adult Sasuke versus Uryu. I answered that. Oh, wait, no, Eden Zero seems like a fun place to live in. Yeah, I saw both of these. Did I miss one? Yeah, I answered all of them. I said Sasuke. Susuke. Whitebeard versus Jura. Definitely Whitebeard. Whitebeard would just punch the shit out of him. Yuno versus Rill so far is the best fight in the Black Clover anime. Yeah, for sure. It was much more cleanly done. I wish Asta versus Ludros was that clean, but you know, it looks like everything is getting improved. Apparently, I think they said episodes 92 or 93 was gonna have that level of quality, so look forward to that. Oh wait, where did I miss your 7 Deadly Sins comment? Oh, 7 Deadly Sins manga is doing what Fairy Tail did, where Acnologia suddenly shows back up throughout the reigns of time, so 7 Deadly Sins is doing what Zeldris. Yeah, but Acnologia wasn't defeated. If they beat this would be like if they beat Space Between Time Acnologia, and then Acnologia showed up later when everyone was healed again and fine, and he's much weaker, and it's like, ha ha ha, how are you gonna stop me now? And they're just like, well, let's do the same thing. Because they're now that you have the Demon King as he's back in a weaker body, and it's like, what are you guys gonna do now? We'll do the same thing. What do you mean what we're gonna do? We're gonna beat you the same way we beat you before. And it's not like, because one of the things is like, okay, yeah, they were fighting him on the internal level as well, because Meliodas didn't want this to happen, so he was combating him like on a soul level. But Zeldris also didn't want this, so they can pull this as well, because he wants to be this vampire chick. Yami versus Blackbeard. I'll go with Yami because I don't think Blackbeard would suspect Dimension Slash, and at that point, you know, cleaved in half. What the fuck is he gonna do? Nothing. Yami and Asta versus Deku and All Might. Deku and All Might would die, like, for sure. Like, I mean, Dimension Slash is such an end point like move. At that point, it's over. They're not getting up from that. And all it's going to take is one hit. All it takes is the one hit from Dimension Slash, and All Might is dead. It's cleaving off a chunk of his arm, like an arm. Hang on a second. Okay, yeah, it's cleaving off an arm or cutting him in half. It's definitely not going well for him. And then he's like, okay, I'm going to bring in United States to smash. And like, okay, yeah, cool. I'm going to block it with like that shadow cocoon, the darkness layer that he's got. Do you think Deku would interact with Saitama? I think he would just try and like train with them. I think Saitama would try and help him train, maybe. Strongest fairy tale character Lumiere can beat? I mean, he's definitely Spriggan level. But some of the Spriggan people, obviously, Hacks is different than, you know, normalcy of us. Some of the layouts of their powers. I think it would depend. I think characters like Brandish, where he's fast enough to beat her, clearly, but all it takes is that snap, and she pops his head. Depends. Is Saitama stronger than Goku? No. Saitama is hyped to be a threat to the planet, which obviously we've seen like evidence for. He got thrown to the moon and came back just fine. His serious punch parted like thousands of miles of clouds. He's like a threat to a planet. I think people take the one punch joke too serious. Like, he's not as powerful as Goku. It's like, yeah, Noelle versus Charmy. Well, Charmy should be able to eat her magic at the moment, but Noelle is extremely mobile. With like, she can like just like swim through there. Invo versus Kaido. I'm gonna give it to Invo because his True Ice, it voids out durability. It goes right for like super mega ice cold, to where, you know, even if you have a resistance or even immunity to ice, it's still gonna freeze you because it's like a weird, like, as I said, durability voiding out. So, and plus he can ice lock him. He ice locks him, and bam, the dude can't think anymore. Lumiere is the first Wizard King from Black Clover. That's cool. I was gonna continue, but I got caught up with other manga. That's fine. Answer involves Black Clover spoilers. I mean, that's not. You can just say who that is, because that's not a spoiler. That's just his name. That's just the name Lumiere. And it's not like going into his story. I mean, you just say what his name is. So I got some good time. I'm glad chatting with you guys. I was enjoying the stream. I got a super chat, my third ever. Always enjoyed donations. And anyone who wants to, you know, donate to the racks, we want you to have that really awesome figure charity, is appreciated every time. But I appreciate you guys in general. Do you think God slaying magic can hurt Beerus? No. Well, that level is way too far out. And like, Beerus somehow manages every time to get stronger. Because they said, what was it in Battle of the Gods? He was like fighting at 80% against Goku or something, and their fight was like a threat to the galaxy, and then all of a sudden it's like him and Goku fighting or like is a threat to the universe, and then like now he's somehow still like a big shot, and Moro isn't gonna go fight. It just kind of seems goofy right there. We live in man, stay chill. I'll post my shit in dynamic server. Yeah, let me see your bookshelf. I love seeing people's bookshelves. Asta versus I'm gonna give my money to. It would depend. Asta can put down, but has more stamina, and once he runs out, it's over. Dragon Master Nani equals Yugi and Kaiba. Goku Vegeta is Goku and Vegeta. I mean, yeah, but Yugi is stronger than Goku and Vegeta, or Goku or Vegito, because he can just summon Horikiri, and Horikiri would just be like, all right, bye. Just erase him. Just erase him like she did to Zork. In Battle of the Gods, 70%. But the animated retcon that Goku was a tree and then Beerus is a mountain. Yeah, it was. I thought that was dumb. I don't understand that. Like, why did they establish like how strong he was and then just change it? I didn't get that. Universe is Kid Sasuke. He's much more versatile fighter for sure. Just the way that he can kind of lay down all the sick. The sick mobility, spirit storm, fly, ranged, all that crazy stuff. My character wouldn't stand a chance against Goku, but give him a good fight. Well, that's good. Time skip Naruto is weak as fuck. Yeah, what? They're like high multi-city block to like small town level or something around those lines. Definitely something there. Hang on, I'm gonna message someone really quick. I gotta harass somebody. Exodia versus Dragon Ball verse. I mean, Exodia should still be. I mean, Exodia fought Zork a little bit. Zork was able to just like without much effort move the moon. And he should be a threat to the planet. So he should still be able to fight some people in it. But like Exodia's was very very much linked to whoever summons him and how much energy you're putting in there. What? Hang on. Goddamn Sammy. So he's like the special spirit king. Yeah, but I mean, because a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh monsters. A lot of their power is relevant to... A lot of them, at least that we see, is relevant to the summoner because the way that they were sealed versus, like, when they were free roaming. Oh my god. Larry Jones! Larry Jones just caught up with Black Clover during the middle of this stream. He did it! Oh, Tengen Toppa and Logon would maul Goku. Could you imagine Goku trying to fight Super Tengen Toppa and Logon? And it's just like... He literally just looks up and he just sees like a piece of it and it's just like the color of the sky and he's like, let me go fight it, and then all Gurren Lagann would have to do is sit down, kill the shit out of him. Maybe this, ooh, that's lewd. It's too lewd. Somebody in goddamn Sammy's stream was, I made promises I shouldn't have, and I said if he gave like money to the Sammy donate, it was like $5. I would do like a Lucy impersonation, and then for 20 I would do the entire Urano Metria chant, and then this fucking guy gave him goddamn $20, and I had to do it. And this guy was, I made promises I wish I didn't, but I still said I'd do it, so I did do it, and I had to take one for the team. I got humiliated in the profit of Sammy, which was funny. Goddamn, I wish that guy showed up to my streams. Gave me money for my own pain. Galaxy. Are there any Galaxy level Yu-Gi-Oh characters? I mean, yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh has. I mean, most of it is like the big characters, like all these universal, multiversal people. I mean, then you can pull up to, like, some of the smaller people, like, star level, like Bruno and stuff. It depends. I mean, I feel like a lot of it, just without thinking too heavy on it, is, like, if I'd have to go back and watch Zexal. Because that's where a lot of the weird space stuff happens. Since the very... Wait, hang on. I almost missed spot. Oh my god, right. Oh, hello. How's it going? How is it, Renault? I'm glad you're back. Strongest Yu-Gi-Oh character Tengatop Gurren Lagann could beat? Probably the Numeron Dragon. Because the Numeron Dragon created the Zexal universe. Pick someone to fight against Elder Demon God. I don't know the full extent that Demon Bane goes to. I just know they're multiversal. Super Tengen, my character. Yeah. Fuck's sake. I'm Fox. Are there any... Yeah, since Breakdown Enemy is probably going to reach Agnelo's backstory, do you think we'll get some to see more stuff with him and Igneel and other dragons? Maybe some details on the Magna Carta. Yeah, I think so too. So they're doing like 3 episodes or 3 chapters per episode, and they're at I think the last one they did I think the next one is 510 or 511. I have to double check, and there's 19 more episodes. So you know that's at least what is 19. Oh my god, I'm trying to math off the top of my head. I don't know why. That's what 57 chapters worth, but we only have like what less than 40. So they're gonna have to shoehorn in a couple backstory chapters, which I really hope so. Who do you think is who do you like the least between Jaden, Yuma, and Yuya? Yuma. Jaden's probably the one I'd get along the best with. Yugi's still my favorite, but then it's Jaden. What do you think of the upcoming Kill la Kill game? I'm wondering why it didn't come out years ago when Kill la Kill was like super popular. It's doing continuously 3 chapters and episode 12 episodes worth of content. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. It's 52 episodes and we're only at 33, I think. So we still have a shit of another 19. Numeron Dragon is what the Crimson Dragon was for 5Ds on a different scale. Well, the Crimson Dragon was an ancient deity. The Numeron Dragon created that universe entirely because the original universe was still made by Horikiri, where the difference between the Zexal world is the Zexal universe wasn't made by Horikiri, it was made by the Numeron Dragon. Kill la Kill or Gurren Lagann? I'd probably go Gurren Lagann. And 6 left episodes, which would be new content, hopefully not flashback hell. I'm hoping more flashback and extended out fights. That's what I'm going for. That's what I want. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yusei is in fact that boss. In fact, that boss. That boss, Yusei Fudo. He's got that Stardust Dragon. Stardust Dragon. I gotta forget to make a tip jar. I'll do that one day. One day we'll get to it. One day. Till then, we'll keep going. I'm really... Oh my god, someone... Oh my... Wait, what's this? Oh, I thought someone colored the stuff from the new Black Clover chapter. It was a really nice HD scene from the anime. Still looked gorgeous. Just the scene of the demon licked just kind of towering over everything, gathering up some spells, and Lumiere just ready, poised to attack. Choose your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh protagonist. Yugi. Yugi's still my favorite. I would pick between Yugi and Jaden, but I like Yugi overall more. So, you know, that boss Yugi, King of Games, still the best duelist in all of Yugi. Fire Dragon King mode, Natsu versus Urza. Natsu would win. What are your opinions on Firewall Dragon? Dark Fluid. Is that a new combo? I need to catch up on Vrains. Like, I finished season 1 and then I wanted to wait to binge watch it, and I'm so far behind now, but I really want to catch back up. I'm probably gonna do that soon. I might do that this week. Oh no, because I wanna rewatch it with some friends. I want to get caught up with them. So I'm probably going to wait until, because we're gonna do like a full Yu-Gi-Oh rewatch party soon, and we're gonna go from original all the way up to current. Z1, not Tron versus Exo, pretty good. That boss Zone. I need to rewatch that scene. He's got to show him the final state of Team 5D's bonds and the very proof of their existence. Haru versus Natsu or Velta and RuneSafe restricted. Well, Natsu would win even with them because he's also got curse power behind it, but he's also more powerful and faster, and he's way more durable than Haru. And if you disarm Haru, then what's he gonna do? Nothing at that point. It's over. It's over at that point. I read that the goddamn Firewall Dragon one. Oh my god. I'm gonna real quick bother everyone really quick in Sammy's Discord. Just cause. I'm gonna post the video outside. Bam! I posted it in the normal chat. Sammy's gonna be confused, but probably not fucking care. Or will he? I'm still streaming, Sammy. Hey, what's up, Sammy? How's it going? Yugi versus Naruto, and Yugi'd win. You just look at Naruto. Naruto would fucking implode, kill the shit out of him. He's way too strong for them. I mean, Yugi would have no problem demolishing Goku. Like, Naruto's no threat to him. He's got that big boy power level. So have I seen the French? I have the manga. I have the volumes. I'm waiting for it to get further ahead from what I read when I was in the French version, and then I pulled away from the anime because the anime kept pulling into like filler stuff because they're changing the story, which I didn't like. Dark Magician versus Zeref. Dark Magician is more powerful. Dark Magician is much more powerful than Zeref. Jacob versus Margear. I mean, does he know he's there? Because if he knows he's there, then that takes away like half of Jacob's like specialty. Because otherwise, Margear flies up and then just spams Thor and Scramble, kills the shit out of him, skewers him to another dimension, gets him with that. It's over. Just mauls the shit out of him, ends his life, brings him to a new state. Yeah, would you guys like to watch? Damn, Rex, skipping my comment. How do I keep skipping your comments? Goddamn, hang on, I'll scroll back up. Oh no, it says comment, it says message retracted. And I answered the Yu-Gi-Oh one. I like Jade more than Yuma and Yuya. I said that. I don't think I missed your comments. Damn, that boy Sammy. Mishima confirmed all the Spriggans are stronger than the previous villains. Yeah, but he still doesn't have he's not gonna have anything to something like Memento Mori. He drops Memento Mori, what's Jacob gonna do? Nothing. Naruto's side versus Acnologia. Is the Space Between Time Acnologia like consumed? Normal Acnologia they would win. They would beat that Acnologia just because, you know, seal him away. I don't think they could beat Space Between Time Acnologia. Well, he'd have to clap, but his Jacob's range we saw at least probably a couple 100 feet, but Margear can easily fly out of that and then just Thorns Bramble him. Nice. Besides the original Yu-Gi-Oh series, which one had the best villains? Again, I'm probably gonna pick GX. I really like GX. Well, I can't see Nineheart beating a lot of previous Well, Nineheart is very situational. Nineheart is very situational on what exactly who he's fighting, because he doesn't have they've got to be dead for his power really to be of much value. I mean, now he would be able to call out like dead Spriggan, so that's different. Sorry, I had to yawn. Oh my god. How did yawning bring my cat back over? Hey, what are you doing? We're busy. Oh my. Wow. What a nice guy, Sammy. Dude, what is that? Isn't that euros too? Sammy donating to the Rax finally gets a one-day Sick Natsu figure fund. I appreciate the 2 Monopoly money, Sammy. Are those euros or pounds? I don't know. I don't know the symbols well. I'll just chuck it up to Sammy dollars. Thank you, Sammy. I appreciate you and your efforts. Nineheart as a god tier support, but not. I mean, he's good. The thing about Nineheart that'd be really useful is, so one of the things that makes Nineheart great is the idea of his power. When you bring him into, oh damn, Sammy, bringing in four of those things being $4 American, or 2 of those things being $4 US. Sammy bringing it closer to the amazing one-day Natsu figure unboxing video, which will be a glorious video. I'm not getting it until I have the goddamn glass case, because I fear my cat will break it because she likes to knock shit over, don't you? Hey, I'm looking at you. Come here. You behave. Oh my god, what was I saying? Yeah. So imagine. So this is the thing about Nineheart that made it really good. You put him in a verse. It's like there's always the kind of idea of like, characters only have a power to a certain extent, right? You give them to a certain extent. But with Nineheart, we saw that when he uses power, it's not like, oh, I can grab certain people. He can make a story of anybody that's dead within somebody's, life. But we saw him make weaker characters stronger, but he makes stronger characters weaker. So it's clear that he sets them to a specific level. Like if one character, like say one character is a 4, Nineheart summons them, they're now a 7. But then there's a character who used to be a 10, Nineheart creates a historia of them, they're now a 7. So I think that's a really cool aspect that was brought into his character that like, because I like to do like versus argue battle stuff, which I want to get back to at some point. But there's always that idea of what's called a no limits policy. So if you had something like that, so if you put him in One Piece, it'd be like, yeah, he can make a copy of Whitebeard. It's like, well, when has he ever made somebody as powerful as Whitebeard? It's like, it doesn't matter because he'll get that character. They'll just be set to a specific level. It doesn't matter if they're way more powerful. Like, he could bring someone from Dragon Ball, but that doesn't mean he's going to have some, like, planet-busting dude. He would be set to the level that he's shown he sets characters to whenever he summons them. And Nineheart is a really good support. Nineheart gets a bad rap, getting taken out by Jalal and Natsu isn't unimpressive. His Natsu one was a little bit disappointing because he got buffed, and then he didn't make any historias. I really wanted a Margear historia so bad, but I didn't get it. Merge Shadow Ichigo versus Zexal 3 with Utopic Dragon. What? How is that going to be a fight? Like, Zexal, like, Yuma was like absurdly crazy. Oh my god, I'm trying to fathom this. You've stumped me with, like, me trying to answer this. He would destroy him. Like, Zexal, like, had crazy space cosmic feats. What the fuck is Ichigo gonna do? That's over. Pounds. So they're pounds. Damn. Now I feel foreign and fancy. That's part of the profit from Sammy's stream yesterday for my part of my degradation. I appreciate it, Sammy. Much appreciated. Who's better duelist, Atem or Astral? Atem would maul Astral. That's not a duel. So they actually had they aren't like series canon, but really they're pretty much like how they would go. They have duels at like big tournaments, and one of them is Atem versus Astral, and Atem obviously ends up winning. I mean, they say Yugi, but I don't think they clarify if it's adult Yugi. It was clearly Dan Green's deeper voice, so unless it was clarified as adult Yugi, you just assume Atem. Sorry, but Atem definitely, yeah, Atem completely mauls the hell out of him. How do you feel about Yu-Gi-Oh! GX dub and the censor? I didn't mind that. I was just mad that they didn't, for some reason, dub the last season. Because why wouldn't they? Because it wasn't like Yu-Gi-Oh! Wasn't popular after that point. Because it's like, okay, like, hey, let's stop doing it because, you know, it's not popular anymore. They went right into 5Ds, and they're still doing dub Yu-Gi-Oh! So why would they not do that? And then they didn't dub the last season of 5Ds on top of not doing the last season of Zexal, which makes me forever salty because I want to own them. I own the Yu-Gi-Oh! Original series, like Super Box, and it's, you know, this big beautiful gold Egyptian one with all of them in there, and it had one of the movies in there. It had Bonds Beyond Time, and I lost it. I don't know where it is, but I wanted to own all of them. I wanted to have all of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Dub DVDs so I could just own them all if I ever wanted to watch them, but I can't because they don't have the last seasons of GX and 5Ds. Makes me so annoying. Like, you can't get full complete series. It's 1 through 3, but like, because the last one's why? Yeah, let me make sure I didn't. Oh, god damn it! No, I don't want to lose my spot. How do you feel? You read that one? Nineheart would be a god and a kami got killed. Yeah, he would. I never thought about that. That's pretty good. Dark Paladin versus Akamogya or Merc. I mean, he's at least stronger than Dark Magician because he's the one that wouldn't exist in the actual, like, real world of, like, when the monsters are real. But he's like Blue Eye's Ultimate Dragon. He's still at least at a level. And because he's at least stronger than Dark Magician, he's more powerful than than Acnologia or Merc. Because he was able to contend with Blue Eye's White Dragon. And the White Dragon was a threat to the planet. Zeref at Sex of Mavis. No, it's not. It wasn't a corpse. That's clearly a point before they went away. All right, they definitely banged at some point. We saw that, definitely, for sure. That was at the start of what was that chapter? I want to say what 531. I want to say. I'm gonna double check. Oh my god, because 532 is when Natsu uses Dragon Force. No, yeah, that's when he uses Dragon Force. I think 531 is when they have the juicy. No, it is 532, and they have that Stevie Mavis and and Zareth opening piece. People didn't like the ending of Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5, but how did they feel about it? I thought the ending was fine. I didn't like the ending of Zexal because it was like the start of another arc. But I don't like it when stuff ends like... It's different when it's like, oh, yeah, we're going to still do stuff versus like, hey, we have conflict. Does the conflict ever get resolved? I don't know. I'll never know. Versus just like Jaden, who just went out to, you know, look for more dual spirits and trying to help them and do all these things. Ending of, oh my God, I'm trying to remember exactly the ending of Arc 5. I mean, it definitely didn't annoy me like the end of Zexal, so I guess that's definitely already by itself, like, not, definitely, like, ranked higher than it. Ranked top 5 Yu-Gi-Oh! Or top 5 strongest Fairy Tail members. Do you mean in the guild or in the series, Jason? Because obviously that would be two different things. Thoughts on the Seal of Orichalcos arc? That and Battle City are my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Arcs, for sure. I love the Awaken the Dragon arcs. That was fantastic. The duels are great. Like, that's Joey's best duel. Joey versus Valen was fantastic. Yugi versus Raphael. Raphael actually managing to make Guardians, like, a viable deck. How did you do it? How? It was shown on 530. Oh, yeah. Revealed now to be 532. Oh, hi, Sammy. Yeah, it'd be nice to Sammy. It was a color page by Hero Machine, which not entirely too sure it's going to get animated. It might. I mean, it's not like they're having sex. I mean, they're naked. I mean, it looks like they're getting close to it. We will see. Clover and them conceiving August. That was in fact the case. More Black Clover characters need to be in Jump Force. Yeah, I know. I don't know why. I don't understand why is in the game. I still think it's ridiculous. Oh shit! Attack on Titan episode of that because I'm streaming. I am very well versed in the Fairy Tail world. Yeah, join Sammy's Discord. Join the dynamic. The link is in the description. A good majority of other shonen animes in Jump Force need more characters. Yeah, I want them to have more characters within their own series. I think every series should have their rival and a bad guy. I don't like that Dragon Ball, Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece all get like 7 fucking characters. When you're over here, you have the dude from Dragon Quest. It's just him. Luckily, we got Kaiba, and they need to have Merrick because Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't have a villain yet, and they have now the 2 Yu-Gi-Oh ults of Slifer and Obelisk. So you need to have Ra in there, and Ra could work because Slifer's is a big frontal beam. Obelisk is a rush. He rushes them and then he brings down a ground pound. Ra would be like Ra Phoenix mode, and then maybe he flies up and it's like a big ground AoE. And then, that would be really cool. Just a big circle around you of damage. Arc 5's manga ending was worse. Don't spoil it. I'm not caught up on the manga for Arc 5. I want to reread all of them because other than original follow, for the most part, original Yu-Gi-Oh's anime and manga all kind of like are very close with some differences from censorship, but everything after that is completely different from the anime. So I want to reread all of them because it wasn't until the new service, that the new Shonen Jump service, that a lot of the digitals for Yu-Gi-Oh were available, because it was either buy them or either buy them digital or read like barely out online translations. And I wanted them, but the mangas, I wanted them, but I didn't want them too deeply, at least at the moment. I want to get all of them eventually, but at the current point in time, I just wanted to read them. And luckily, the service app lets me do it while giving them, a fair release. I'll check out later if the stream ends. Yeah, well, good. Check out Sammy's server. This is going way longer than I thought it was. Do you think the ending of the original Yu-Gi-Oh felt incomplete because Yugi beat a Tem, and then they left the temple, nothing came until the movie? Well, it was at that point where it was like noted that it was the start of Yugi's journey, and that was the end of the main story, and then going on beyond that, and then that left it up for movies, which again I really like Dark Side of Dimensions, and I'm hoping that they do more movies just with Yugi and a lot, because you can age up Yugi. You could just make him look like he is as an adult, because we know as an adult he just looks like a Tem, the Japanese, I guess white-skinned Tem. I was gonna say Japanese, but he doesn't look Japanese. Not the brown Atem, but and then just have him do that as an adult. Have Joey and Kaiba and all them. That'd be pretty sick. Imagine Spirit Storm and Jump Force. Yeah, that's what I want. I think it would be like, I'd want to see him do like not just Spirit Storm. I'd want to see him do like a couple cool moves and then set it up and then Spirit Storm. You know, I think that'd be cool. Instead of just Spirit Storm, you just see a beam. Or just make it, like, add an extra flair to it, make it look super special. Baku was pissed off that he was DLC. I wish Yuno was in there with him, but he's not. I'm surprised August didn't have any reaction to Natsu when he met. Hang on a second, I gotta drink some water. Oh, that cough crept up on me real heavy. But yeah, I guess. But he knew that he was much more. He was part of Zaref's plan, and overall, he wanted to do what exactly he thought was best for Zaref. Hang on, I'm drinking more water. I've been talking so long, my throat's getting super dry. I don't want to die. Come on. Top 5 strongest members in the guild. Natsu. I mean, it should be pretty obvious. Natsu, Gray, Urza, Guild Arts, and Laxus. Them's 5. Gar versus Agil. I would put my money on Agil, just from the fact, like, Sand World, and then just water drain him. Because, like, outside of... Because what exactly is he... Because they both have sand powers, but it seems like Agil wouldn't be hurt by Gara's sand stuff, but Agil can just drain him. Seal of Orichalcos wasn't filler SMH. So it is canon, because the Yu-Gi-Oh! Original Yu-Gi-Oh! Is weird, because the manga, dub, and sub anime are all canon, because why the fuck not, from Konami? So, you know, it's nice to have that aspect. Oh, no, you gotta keep in mind, Gray has lost aspect. Gray has lost aspect, so you should be able to do it. Oh, he does. I didn't know that he does Yu's voice. That's pretty cool. I'd argue Dragon Force Godzilla stronger than Urza. Well, no, we don't know if he could do it by himself, because he never was able to do it at command. We haven't seen that from Godzilla. We've only seen him do it through eating a special material, a special super one, and then gaining the boost. That's Natsu versus Sasuke at their most powerful. Well, Natsu at his most powerful was the 7 fire dragons. I mean, if he can land the hit, I mean, if he's landing time burn, or you can pull in either that, or if you wanted to go towards the Therius Dragon Force. I mean, he's powerful. I mean, obviously Sasuke is very strong, but he's not taking time burning fire. That's not happening. That's too much for him. Gotta incinerate the hell out of him. I'd argue Dragon. Okay, I remember that. Eating anti-magic was his trigger. It was because there's like small bits of, I think it was small bits of iron in the anti-magic particles. So he was taking it and utilizing it into his body while still like advancing. And I've always thought that the special ability of Iron Dragon Slayers is the far more level of adaptability they have versus like other dragon slaying types. I thought it was hilarious that Kaiba challenged him again at the temple, even though he lost him twice. Oh, he's gonna keep trying. He's more for the challenge and the excitement of it, rather than, oh, he thinks that he's gonna win this time. He still believes that he's gonna win, but that's just because he's a confident guy. Naruto can talk in Jutsu in character. Not Rio. Naruto would go up to try and talk to Rio, and Rio would be like, you just look at him and yell at him that his father died, and then he would just start smoking, and Naruto would try and continue, and he'd look back and he'd be like, oh, Naruto, you were talking? I was just smoking this. And this, it's laced with drugs. How would Asta fare in the world of Fairy Tail? I think he'd do fine. I mean, he would do pretty decent. I mean, he's not as strong as some like some of the scarier characters yet. I mean, he's got the obviously the anti-magic, but it's not like anti-magic is some mind-boggling thing in Fairy Tail. Because already, that's what Yuko was. That boss Rio. Rio from Devilman, the original Devilman. He's laced with drugs! He's un-talk no jutsuable. You would have to give him something else laced with drugs for him to go with it. It's laced with gay. Oh god, you're gonna rile up Larry Jones. He loves all those. My father died. All the Rio references. That dude's a meme god. He's hilarious. if you think JoJo is like like all of JoJo is like maybe like half of Rio's level of meme power from Devilman. That dude is a meme god. I think that's how he was able to metabolize the particles and hit blood, but it wasn't the trigger for Dragon Force. It was the whole monologue about being the last Slayer to achieve Dragon Force. I mean, it definitely got a power up from consuming it because because Levi said it. He had to do partially. He was eating iron within it, so obviously him eating some of that element is going to make him more powerful. And his Dragon Force didn't seem like something. It didn't seem like the same as something like Natsu's True Dragon Force, where he had the fire horns, or Wendy's, for some reason Wendy's pink hair, but also the cool feathers. Let me look back. I'm just going over. I remember the mentioning of iron as part of the aspect. Yeah, that's what. There were small traces of iron in the anti-magic particles. That's what Bloodman said. So he still was getting a boost to a degree, but it wasn't like something like eating raw fire and wine. I love the way that they animated Bloodman. His Aetherius form, his third eye. I'm just gonna go with the Aetherius form because that's really what it was. I really love the way that it looked in the anime with that cool, like, this almost like space spirit look to it. It looks awesome. I was very happy about that. That was one of the things that I was very much I just saw your message in Discord, Ronald. It's laced with drugs. Everything about Rio is amazing. He's hilarious. I'm more partial. Yeah, it's laced with gay. I read that before eating of it. Anti-magic. Yeah, I mean, he still partook some of the metal. I mean, that's what Bloodman himself said. My character would easily be annoyed with Luffy. I imagine most characters would. JoJo is one big meme. That JoJo can't compare with Rio though. Rio is a meme god. You're too optimistic. You gotta drop that on him. There's so many good ones. So Jane rival was Chad or Zane. Yeah, well he had like a multi-set rival because they also kind of felt like Jesse at a time. But it's like Chad felt like a merging of Chad felt like a merge of part of Kaiba and Joey, and Zane was like nicer guy Kaiba merged with like the original evil Kaiba because he became a mean dick near the end. Better read. Oh, that's not me. Super Robot Wars. I don't read that. All these comments at other people. Gajil should have been able to absorb the Earth around him. I mean, maybe that'll get to something eventually. Like he'll be able to take in the minerals from the ground. That'd be cool. That'd be super badass. Or if he can adapt to just minerals in general. I think what if he just bites off somebody's arm and it's like there's iron in there. That'd be fantastic. Could you imagine that level of display of adaptability? It just drinks blood or some shit. I'm now the iron blood. Damn, that'd be pretty crazy. Wait, what is this? Oh, I don't know. Why did I get a Twitter notification about a Game of Thrones podcast? I don't want to fucking watch that. Get the hell out of there. Goofy. That was goofy. I don't need that. Gosh. Anyway, I got already on. Fuck. Oh. Anyway, back to discussing nice chats. But I think part of the I think that was really cool for Gadju, but also the fact that it seemed as like big endgame ways for his big endgame stuff for his Dragon Force. We could still see more of it. One second. Joey Wheeler. I had to message somebody. This dude was a funny Joey avatar from yesterday. It made me laugh. God, don't lose my place. My character loves memes. I can feel the power of memes. Oh, who the fuck is messaging me? I'm doing stuff. This person that keeps going live for some reason every goddamn 10 minutes. I'm gonna keep my phone somewhere so it's not gonna vibrate the entire time, make annoying sounds. Titan's tasty. Or is he gonna eat characters from Attack on Titan? Yubo was probably the best villain in GX. Yeah, I would agree. I really liked I like Sartorius. Scale of 1 to 10. How mad would you be in 100 Years Quest Chapter 26 if it was it's just a goofy chapter? I will you'll hear like more rage. Like last time it was more like salt. Another one would be more like anger, and then after that it would just be like meltdown. Pretty much. angry weight. How would your character feel about Natsu? I mean, he would be cautious of him just because of like how prone Natsu is to fighting people. But like the fact that Natsu is very loyal to his companions, very loyal to his friends, he would like that aspect to him because he holds that very important. Like that's also at the same time like would be a weakness of him because he could be like somebody could easily trick him, be one of his friends, and then backstab him. He just once you've earned his loyalty, then he's got you as super bro. You'd have to do a lot to kind of cut that tie off. Do you refer to Yu-Gi-Oh characters that are Japanese names or English? I usually go for the dub names because I like the dub names, but I'm all right with sub or dub. But more often than not, definitely the dub names like Jaden. I know obviously Judai is his actual name in the Japanese version, but I always like Jaden just because he was the only one that had his name changed. Oh, I thought you were talking to me, JK Network. I was thinking about Mike. I'm sorry, I didn't read that. I was talking to Jared Punch. My bad. I was the character in my story has Wolverine like gauntlets. Oh, that's sick. You should see him through Dark Souls because I think they have those weapons. Margear versus Hades and Zero. Margear would win. Memento Mori. It's to race him. How do you think Lucy would react to Shiki if they met instead of Shiki meeting Rebecca? I think she'd be nice to him. She'd probably treat him like some big dopey kid, but she'd probably definitely befriend him. She wouldn't decide to randomly cut his hair while he's asleep. I don't understand that. I'll never understand the logic of that part for Eden Zero. Like, why would you be like, hey, this guy's hair bugs me while I'm asleep. Let me cut it. I'd be like, bitch, watch the fuck out. Get the fuck away from that dude's hair. What is wrong with you, weirdo? That's just, I always thought that was a very strange aspect to bring onto his character, or to her character. I don't know. My character stance would be rough around the friendship thing, but respects him holding his ideals. Yeah. Not saying Margear would lose, but Genesis Zero is literally the same thing as Memento Mori. Oh no, Genesis Zero. So we saw Genesis Zero in the Starry Sky arc. It traps you in a pocket dimension. Like it's like a pocket dimension that messes with your head, because we only got the description of it in the manga, and then you see it a little different in the anime. But the anime of the Arasion Seis arc obviously is not the canon, but the Starry Sky arc is canon, and you see what it does. It's more of like a pocket trap, and then it like numbs your mind versus Memento Mori, which is straight erasing you. Do you think Urza during OS arc could have beaten Zero? No, I do not. I don't think it. Yeah, I'll get triggered if the fucking Fairy Tail chapter is another goddamn like goofy side chapter that doesn't give me anything to talk about. Talk no Jutsu wouldn't work. It would do shit to Rio. It took him actually succeeding as playing to realize he fucked up. Well, it's because he was busy smoking stuff laced with drugs. He was high the whole time. And then you try and explain stuff to him, and he'll go, "Ha! You're too optimistic." That's his ultimate counter. My character would be very understanding with Shiki and Deku and their characters. How mad would you think if Rebecca cut Draken Joe's hair after he's beat? I would be mad. I love Draken Joe's hair. It looks awesome. Mishima couldn't resist making Shiki look completely like Natsu by cutting his hair. He doesn't look the same. He obviously has differences. Like his hair like drapes over his face. The way his hair is kind of like designed. You look at kind of just like the way that it's like twists around that makes it shapes. It's different. I can see what people complain about. I liked long hair Shiki. I really wish he stuck with long hair Shiki. But I don't agree that their characters just look the same. They have different facial aspects too. Especially Shiki's way more emotional in like the sadder emotions. He's way more sympathetic towards people too. Tenko would be annoyed with Asta, but respect him for handling insults better than he could. How far in the future do you think Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise can go? Each new series goes further into the future. Oh no, so 1 through 3 is its own storyline. There's one storyline. And then... oh my god, my neighbor's kid is screaming super loud. I don't know if you can hear that. I don't know. Jesus. That's super loud. What? Oh, you guys can definitely hear that. I'm gonna turn my... Oh my god. I'm gonna mute myself really quick. I'm concerned. Jesus, I think he finally stopped. That kid randomly screams like all the time. I woke up at like 4 in the morning once, and he was doing that. I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with that kid? I just went back to sleep. I just turned my TV up a little. And I went back to sleep. I don't know. I don't know. I think he's only like 2 or something. It's probably just some like spoiled kid or some shit. I don't know. I don't want to know. None of my business. None of my business. Jesus. Beat for not reading that Devil Man. I mean, maybe he just found out that Rio's father died and it was too much for him. Oh, did you heard that earlier? I worry sometimes that it's in some of my business. Oh my god, he's screaming again. Hang on. I'll mess with my settings later to try and like turn my gain down so maybe you don't hear it. I don't want to fucking hear my neighbor. I always think that like I sometimes always wonder like when I get hyped up in games like what if I'm annoying my neighbors, and then I realize there's no way that I could possibly annoy my neighbors more than the people next door probably ignore or annoy everyone else. I imagine everyone can hear them. Or I guess it's not them, it's specifically their kid. Just loud screaming little kid. God damn. Completely derailed the conversation. It was too much for him to find out about Rio's father. It was unfortunately laced with drugs. Poor guy. Anyway. Oh my god, how did this stream go 3 hours? I was planning 2, like an hour and a half to 2, and now we're at 3. Someone motivate me to keep going. Opinion on 20th Century Boys? Unfortunately, 20th Century Boys was not laced with drugs. If only it was. If it was, then I'd be happier with it. But it wasn't. How am I supposed to know what exactly Rio's up to if it's not? There's a question for you right there. Let me try and get back. Yeah, I can't hear. I think Cobra Heihatsu is screaming what hurt his ears. Oh, Cobra. By the way, did you finish your point on Yu-Gi-Oh! Future thing? So the first 3-year-old one storyline. Zexal is a separate story, and it's in its own kind of weird sci-fi universe. Arc 5 as well. They've all been kind of futuristic since 5D. Well, 5Ds was like kind of futuristic, but it wasn't like as crazy tech as Zexal, Arc 5, and Brains are. I'm hoping after this one they go back. I don't want more tech stuff. I want more ancient magic. It's been forever, and I want it back to ancient magic stuff. My character hate the ever crap out of Frieza for destroying races and worlds. I mean, Frieza's dick. A serious concept I have is a band of thieves searching for the Crystal Tower. I mean, would it be like a teleporting tower? Otherwise, it'd be easy to find if it's made of crystal. So, you require motivation. Yeah, keep me motivated to keep going. Luckily, I've got 2 delicious super chats to add to my list to eventually getting that sick Natsu figurine. Eventually, they'll all compile up. And then I'm like, God damn it! I just realized I'm gonna have to do math or money conversion for Sammy's. God damn it, Sammy! Your kindness has now led to me having to do extra work. No, that's appreciated. Opinion on the Veins protagonist. Although I've only watched season 1, I watched a little bit of season 2, like with Soul Burner. I wasn't a huge fan on Playmaker because he just won, and it seemed like he was never gonna lose. But obviously, that's season 1. Season 1 is more about establishment. But, I don't know. We'll see more later. If you're ahead of me, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Going beyond the current spot. We'll see. We'll see how things go. But, Sky Tower. Oh, that's cool. A favorite Yu-Gi-Oh! Female lead? I like Yuzu. Yuzu was, like, actually a good duelist. She actually knew how to duel. Like, she progressed. Obviously, in the last season, she kind of just became, like, a background. She became, like, a damsel in distress. But, you know, the fact she got good duels leading up to that was more than she could have ever asked. I mean, Tori legitimately didn't duel once. And that's why I hate Tori. Tori's trash. Worst Yu-Gi-Oh! Female lead for sure. JK, I don't mind Yusaku. I just want Playmaker to lose at least. Are you caught up? Is he still not lost? Oh, my fucking God. Jesus. Somewhere to castle in the sky. Who do you think is the baddest bitch in Shiki Screw? What Loki might have stolen the spot? Wait, who do you think is the baddest bitch? Oh, definitely the favorite female in his career right now is Samora for sure. She's got that ass. She's funny. She's got a really nice sense of style. She's got the coolest power. I like her. I definitely like seeing her character go down the line. I wonder. I want to know what her exactly she's gonna do after this. We'll see soon, though. We'll see. There's gonna probably be maybe because she said there's 5 current forms to her sword. We saw like the speed version and then like the standard katana one. Akiza provides Geass is cool too. Yeah, but Yuzu had more stuff. I mean, Akiza, she didn't get as much duels as she should have, and she only had the plain Black Rose Dragon. She never got a buffed version, which is lame. She should have got at least one buffed version, but whatever. Tori and Taya from the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Barely too much. Well, Taya did a little bit. Taya's duel with she won only because of sympathy. But her duel with Crump was good. And she's busted out. I mean, she won off of a retarded idea, but she still won. But the whole thing about the whole thing about the virtual world is the deckmaster powers were bullshit. Like, you could have something retarded, and then you could have something absurdly OP, which again was like such an unbalanced system. My character would Homura. Your character gonna bang out Homura. Rank the fighting members of Shigi's crew from strongest to weakest. I'm gonna wait until after this arc. Well, I guess it's like a mini arc because we're gonna actually see each of them fight like all at the same time. To where it's not gonna be like a big gap where some character gets a power up and it's like, wow, now they're way stronger than this character. Is this character getting a power up? This is what we're gonna be to establish. Obviously, though, Shiki is the strongest right now out of the crew, at least at the moment. Wish Alexis or GX did more. I mean, she did a little bit. She did more in... I feel like she did more in Arc 5 than she did in GX. Main characters Jazz is a naysayer. That's unfortunate. Do you think happens in the Moscow button gets pressed? I bet he turns into like a combat mode, and maybe it's like a sick badass like crazy thing, or maybe he self-destructs. I don't know. Other than that, I'm gonna wrap up the stream, guys. I appreciate everyone for coming out. Again, I really appreciate Renault and Sammy for those nice 2 super chats. Again, all proceeds go into that beautiful Natsu figurine, and let me put it back up on screen really quick so you guys can gaze upon its glory really fast before this stream ends and I read any of these closing comments. Yuri from Arc 5 is pretty interesting villain. Yeah, I think he's cool. I liked his Predaplants deck. Because of his reputation being ruined, people not believing his commits suicide. Well, that sucks. That's pretty unfortunate. Yeah, so thanks to everyone for showing up. Thanks for everyone for being at Character Development Awaits. Yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it eventually. We're going to see some sick battles in the next bits. And some cool character jumps. I wonder what... No, Larry Jones. Literally, like, every single shonen... Like, almost every main character, rather. My father died. Now I'm totally alone in this world. That's all I had. Anyway... Yeah, you guys have a great weekend. It's still a couple hours of Sunday, and then tomorrow is a holiday. So have a good time, guys. Appreciate all of you, and I hope you all have a great time. As I said, look forward to chapters. We'll probably see like 7 Deadly Sins and stuff. Spoilers out soon. Until next time. Until next week. Keep in mind, if you guys want, anytime this week. I might do a Dark Souls game stream where I just play Dark Souls and, chit chat. You guys can watch me fail at the game and then, ask me any questions you have. Maybe like a midweek one, maybe like on Wednesday, which will be pretty fun. Until next time then. Otherwise, thanks. Bye, guys.